you believe, but you're sitting in darkness. He said he makes things light, and you believe, but you're living in darkness. He claims the false news until his crimes prove. He claims to help you, to save you, fight for you. Lies, the leader of the cult, the leader of the cult, the cult man. Lies, the master of puppets, the cult man. Lies, the leader of the cult, the leader of the cult, the cult man. Freedom dies. The foolish sheep follow the wolf, and you still believe, but he's feasting on your freedom. He spreads his hate called love, and still you believe, but he's blinded your reason. He pours the drink, you drunken fool. He claims the false news until his crimes prove. He claims to help you, to save you, fight for you. Lies, the leader of the cult, the leader of the cult man. Lies, the master of puppets, the cult man. Lies, the leader of the cult, the leader of the cult man. Freedom dies. They bow before him, the drink slowly takes, then they lift their hands. Mass control, there's no decency, it's all false prophecy, an antichrist glorified. He claims the false news until his crimes prove. He claims to help you, to save you, fight for you. Lies, the leader of the cult, the leader of the cult man, the cult man. Lies, the master of puppets, the cult man, the cult man. Lies, the leader of the cult, the leader of the cult man. Freedom dies.
The Church of Mavis radio show, Friday nights at 8 p.m., 7 Central, starring Jeffrey Pritchett with his co-hosts Wham and Jay McNicholas, right here on the United Paranormal Radio Network, UPRN 107.7 FM, New Orleans.
Oh, we're ugly. Okay, that's weird.
Tune in to UFO Undercover, Wednesdays at 8 p.m. Eastern, with your host, Joe Montaldo, right here on the Paranormal Radio Network.
Lead it. I'll tell you what. Sometimes I just want to slap some stuff around.
And what would that be, Joe?
Just all sorts of shit. Lately, things have just been weird in the world. It's like everybody got greedy. Everything went up in price and quality of service went down. Anyway, welcome to News on the Flipside, everyone. I hope everyone's having a good morning, good evening, great afternoon, beautiful evening, or early morning, wherever you are on our big, beautiful blue planet that I like to refer to as Terra. You can call it Earth, you can call it whatever you want, but it's ours. I mean, we all have to share it and
I
get
don't
along.
think the planet is called Terra. I believe on maps it is called Sol 3, and we're just called Terra.
It is called Sol. It is called Sol
whatever
3 on some
reason.
places.
No.
It's Christopher. Not tonight. Maybe later in the show. I don't know. I haven't seen the real evidence that says there's another planet out there. I see some certain stuff.
this
and
is
shit
different.
sometimes.
There's some weird gravitational waves going on out there affecting
Well-
Ernest and its moons, Saturn's outer moons, and stuff like that. But we can't see whatever is causing the gravity.
Let's just like talk about what's happening now instead of another damn planet.
Hey, man, that might be what aliens are from. Now, let's be nice. We don't want to be offending no aliens. Chris, there's just a lot going on. So we're just going to start out with Uncle Joe Biden and how great a job he is and how he loves helping people and how these people that are been stricken by floods and hurricanes and pestilence and all sorts of wonderful things. And I heard him just today say they've gotten everything they need and they're in great shape and they don't need anything. And if they need any money, Americans need to give it to them. Well,
Why us?
Well,
we're going to give it to them anyway. I mean, that's where FEMA gets their money from is our tax dollars.
FEMA's broke, Joe. FEMA has no money.
Yeah, well, FEMA doesn't have any money because FEMA gave it all out to illegal immigrants coming into our country. And so they're paying for all their housing and medicine.
Whose idea was that?
Yeah, that was Kamala Harris's idea. Remember, she's the border czar. So this all falls on her. But the problem here is the only way to fix it, Congress has to go back in session. Only Congress can give them money. So Congress has to come back from wherever it's at because Congress wasn't coming back till after the election.
Funds.
Yeah, so even though I think there's some way the president could probably do an executive order, but regardless, they will have to come back and pass a bill saying, okay, we're going to give them X amount of money. Okay, so let's say that happens. By the time you get Congress back in session, it's going to be at least a week, probably two. By then, this is going to turn into one of the biggest disasters in our country and forever. I mean, you've got people just starving, people stuck, people that can't get out, no gasoline, no cell service, no running water, barely getting any water at all. Oh, Michael, shut up with the Kamala Harris out giving food. We're going to talk about that in a few minutes. Frankly, the response in Katrina wasn't the best response, and I was personally here on the ground. I live in the city of New Orleans. And I was actually here for it all. This is far worse. I mean, the negligence here is just unbelievable. To hear a sitting president say, well, we don't have any money. That's all we can do. You're going to have to people are going to have to pay for it now. Well, first off, the people are paying for it. And secondly, you need to get your old cracker ass off your beach seat, get up on the telephone and start calling some senators and congressmen and getting some money. Because if not, there ain't a shot in hell Kamala Harris is going to win. What the hell? Sorry, guys. There's something else aggravating me over here. It's there's no other way that this. I mean, if he doesn't, this is the end of Kamala. If you go into this the week before the election or 2 weeks before the election, and the same shit's going on now, it's on like a big dog. You already got stuff all around the United States. People are already pissed off. They're seeing, we give FEMA, come on, we just gave Lizinski how much money? 68 billion, 83 billion, something like that.
Actually, I think the running tally now is near up to $1 trillion or close to it, if not over it, something like that, right? Over the last year or two or three.
Well, we get him a lot of money. How much money are we giving Israel?
I think I heard someone say that it was over $1 trillion or approaching $1 trillion at this point. The total amount we've given them.
Well, Jack, you can go look it up. We don't mind. We don't mind if you look at them, send to us when you're not.
But it was just something I heard on Fox.
Well, the problem here is when you add in Israel, that's a lot of money. And then let's just talk about what is it? 11, 14 million, 15 million illegals.
Yep.
And how many billions have we spent on that? And wait, this is what's going to get the this will probably end the Democratic Party if they don't figure this out. So you're going to tell America, the whole country, because country relies on FEMA, not just us. California does, Hawaii does, and with all those fires and stuff and earthquakes, they rely on FEMA just like the rest of the country. So you're going to say, okay, well, we had to pay for 15 billion immigrants that weren't supposed to be in our country in the first place, and you Americans are going to have to fend for yourself. Yeah, and that's going to go over like what? A pile of shit is what that's going to go over like. I mean, really, I'm beginning to wonder after Joe Biden with his carrying around his red cap and all, if he's just like trying to sabotage Kamala. I get the sinking feeling that he's trying to sabotage her because there's a couple things he's done lately.
Fox was speculating about the I don't know if he was having a debate. He just went into the regular press room, but at the same time she was speaking, and they were speculating the same thing. And one guy says no, another guy says yes. How can you tell? The guy seems senile anyway.
But okay, I'm going to throw my 2 cents on this.
Get it in there, baby. Get it in there.
All right. So yeah, there's something wrong with Mr. Biden there up there, but he ain't no dumbass. Okay, think about it. 50 some years in Congress. You know,
Yeah, he's been there a while. He knows.
All right, then. So he might have a little bit of a brain left to realize, hey, I'm going to screw Kamala because they screwed me over.
And well, you know, more and more, I keep hearing more stuff out of him about, look, the other day with the kids in the 12 red hats and him in the red hat. Okay, first off, that's like I'm voting for Trump kind of shit. But worse than that, he's been walking around saying stuff, and he's doing it deliberately, like about we're not gonna FEMA don't have any money, y'all are on your own. Now, a president, you know, a normal president wouldn't say that. He'd say, yeah, well, FEMA's out of money, but we're going to get Congress in, or we're going to get it from here, or we're going to take it from there, or we're going to take some of his surplus that's going over to one of these countries and give it to FEMA until such a time that they can do that. So, I mean, there's things they could do. He doesn't care. He don't want to. And he doesn't care who it's hurting when he's saying
over
it.
3 months to go, and he's out. So I get, you know.
Yeah, what you got?
Would you put any extra effort? Oh, my job's done in 3 months. Would you give any extra? I probably wouldn't.
Yeah, what is it, January 20th or something? He's or 22nd, somewhere around there.
Officially, he's done on January 20th. Yeah.
Yeah, he steps down and the new president takes over.
Uh-huh.
What is that, Jack?
He's gonna have to stand there with Trump and shake hands if Trump wins.
Why not? So what?
I think he would rather shake hands with Trump than with Kamala. So right now, ladies and gentlemen, and we said this in the beginning when this thing with Miss Harris came up. All of a sudden, here's Obama on the campaign trail with it. Oh, here's Liz Cheney on there. Shit. Next thing you know, Hillary's going to be there. This is the Democrats, Hillary Clinton and Barack Obama's chosen one to run things for them and proxy.
I've been saying it for months, however many months we've been covering this, 8, 9, 10 months, that the Democratic Party is in panic mode. They have to try every dirty trick on their hands to get, you know, votes in elections, you know.
But you don't go out and ask for Obama, who was a polarizing president at best, to come help you unless you know you're in trouble.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. Yeah, they're in panic mode. It's showing. It's more prevalent now. They're calling in the big artillery. You know.
Well, no, Stephanie, it doesn't really help them because now the Republicans can say, look, who's going to be running the country? Who's running the country right now? Does anybody listening to this station know who's running the country right now? It ain't Joe Biden. Every time I see him, he's on a freaking beach somewhere. Mm-hmm. No, we're on like free mode. We're just cruising along on our own. Hope as long as we don't hit no bumps, we're probably okay. You know, it's like the bicycle when you let go of the handlebars and it's just going along unless you hit something wrong. It just keeps going. It's kind of like that right now. We in free fall. It's a dangerous place to be for our country, but whoever you go vote for, just remember where the world's at. I know Americans we're we're very egotistical because we want to think about ourselves first, which in a ways we should, but we need to remember that there's other 7,800,000,000 people out there, and our things that we do affects them as well. And it's something we need to remember. And right now, our country is the only thing that can probably stop a nuclear world war as it stands right now. So most people don't know this because our media is not really putting it out there, but the European media is talking about it, and so is the Asian media. So Vladimir went and talked to his boy down there, who he gave those nukes to, and said, look, I'm trying to rewrite how we're going to do nuclear attacks. And then he went to Mongol. Now, remember, the Mongolians been wanting to put him in jail. Said if he ever stepped on their soil, they would put him in jail.
Who, Putin?
Yeah, Putin. So obviously they didn't put him in jail. Well, he went down there to discuss with the Mongol leader about he's going to be trying to change the way he can use nuclear weapons. What he's trying to do is pave the way for a tactical nuclear strike on Kiev. He's going to warn everybody. He's going to say, get out. And whoever gets out, and who don't. But he wants to drop like a 2 kiloton, maybe a 3 kiloton nuke on Kiev. That's the end of the war.
What's to say he doesn't use something like our neutron bomb?
No, because neutron bomb's banned by whatever the hell it is. Some treaty with the UN.
Who cares that it's banned? Who's supposed to say he doesn't use it?
No, because he's already his country's already desperate.
I mean, come on, you got Iran and it's 7 or 8 little proxy governments.
Yeah, but see, right now, other countries deal with them, and China and Iran and stuff. If they were to use a neutron bomb, whoever stood with China, with Russia, would stand alone. That would be it. The other 200 countries in the world would cut them off, and they can't survive without everybody else. There's just, especially China, there's just basic things China needs that it does not have. It gets a lot of stuff from South America. It gets a lot of stuff from Africa. It just needs a lot of stuff. It's a big country with a lot of people, and they need a lot of things. So they can't put themselves in that position. So most people are not going to do it. And I don't think, for some reason, a neutron bomb is considered cruel. I don't understand why, because I would think a nuclear weapon would be more cruel than a neutron bomb. But what's that, Jack? Okay, neutron bomb. Neutron bomb is basically a bomb that's just, when it explodes, it spreads radiation out from 2 to 10 miles, and then whatever the environment allows for that point after.
Whoever's exposed to that dies within days or weeks.
Yeah, some of it dies within minutes, depending on where it's at.
The radiation burst only lasts like seconds, and then it's harmless.
Yeah. Well, the city itself, if the best one the United States got, which has probably been upgraded since then, it's 2 years before humans can move back into the city, but there's nothing destroyed. Yeah, the cars are left intact. The buildings are left intact.
5 years, and then you can
and they may be down to a year now, but whatever it is, the half-life is very low. And so when the half-life's over, they can move back in the city. And one of the weird, excuse my language.
Well, this is the R-rated show, Joe. You can,
Yeah. Well, I know it is.
You might want to put us on private on YouTube where you get yourself banned again. But
yeah, it's. Oh no, we got some kind of thing where Roku just keeps flipping on and off. Light comes on, light goes off, light comes on, light goes. It's got some kind of weird.
Yeah, Roku's turning on and off. I've been watching that.
Yeah, it's matter of fact, if anybody's out there, write to me and let me know what's going on. If it's dropping, you're picking up, or if it's just flacking over here, what the hell's going on?
I turned on Roku when I got Frisco advertised with Frisco TV or some nonsense like that. I have no idea.
TV. We're gonna have to check into all of that. Anyway, what the hell was I? I got distracted with this stupid.
I don't know. Read the banner. It's got all the stuff in it.
You were talking about how everybody needs Russia.
Oh, Russia. No, okay, we don't need Russia, but we
need the economy and the trade with both.
Russia needs us. Is what
we really do.
The
planet really to thrive and survive, we need all three countries, but. One of them is going kind of batshit crazy at the moment, and he won't stop if Kamala is president.
We're done. There's going to be World War III. If she wins, Jay, there is no more freaking.
Actually, they're in Monaco City or Morocco. I'm sorry, they've got betting odds that if she wins, who will use the first nuke?
Yeah. Oh wow.
I would say,
I wouldn't put it past Iran. I would bet my money would go on Iran.
My
yeah,
money
I
would go on
wouldn't right there
Israel.
with you.
I'm putting my
Iran.
money on Israel.
I think they would in retaliation. I think it would be Iran
Oh
first.
no,
but
I think that if the only way they can take out their nuclear program is with a nuke, I think they'll use a nuke. Israel has lost its mind. It is like Russia and the Ukraine balled up into one. It's just pissed. They have not got past in baby killings yet. They just can't seem to let it go.
I
And,
heard a conspiracy that Hamas was actually an Israeli creation that's used that Israel's using to keep justifying bombing Hamas.
No, I think Hamas was actually as an Iranian creation, but it's not that. They do create stuff like that. We do all the time. Taliban and ISIL or ISIS, whatever you call it, were direct
ISIL.
because of the United States. We created their leaders. They went to college here, went to the CIA here. We trained them and then let them loose in the world, and then they turned on us. Or maybe they didn't turn on us. Maybe that was what they were supposed to be doing.
It's just so strange that this I think it was the CIA actually that allowed Osama bin Laden to come to New York City to learn to become an architect, and specifically I think he took classes on building engineering in that like skyscraper building, and although he was wrong, he knew like exactly where the best places to put dynamite were to take the towers down, and that the first attack was by him when they blew up the garage. But he was off on his calculations. He missed the load bearing members to bring the whole thing down.
But he's not the only. I mean, there was quite a few leaders.
That's nuts. You think about that. We let him come to our school to learn how to blow up buildings, which he did later on with jets.
We let Xi Jinping come to our schools. We let a lot of people come to our schools that are not favored to America. It's kind of strange how that works out. Yes, but a lot of these people, like a lot,
Bin Laden, the creators of our own.
Bin Laden. I mean, we put him in power. We gave him what he needed, and then he used it against us. Or we didn't really use it against us. He used it against our allies, which pissed us off. And then we went and hunted them down and killed them. Supposedly, I'm not even 100%. We killed him because there was no body. Oh yeah, we shot him in the head and then threw him overboard. Oh, that just. Come on, do y'all believe that? And there wasn't even a DNA sample taken? Bullshit.
Then we can come back and say JFK's son isn't dead.
Because they already say that shit. Yeah, they already say that. They say he was retired. They didn't want him to get in politics, so they retired him. He would be too popular.
No, well,
he was handsome, good looking, charismatic. He'd have been popular. But was he smart enough to be president?
Was he smart enough to not be president? Because I mean, that would be. I mean, the way his dad went out, I don't think I'd want to try.
His uncle Robert went out. Yep.
Yeah.
It's
I mean, both brothers went out with a shot to the head, but
yeah. I don't know, guys. It's kind of crazy. So anyway, getting back to FEMA for a few minutes before we move on. The response here is just there is no response. So I was talking to a friend of mine in Florida today down in Clearwater. He said he hasn't seen any FEMA people anywhere. Now, Clearwater is where the store came on as a Cat 4 and just leveled houses to dust. Now, they're already supposed to be trying to help these people get places to stay, give them money to get places to stay until they can get with their insurance companies if they have insurance. If they don't have insurance, FEMA's supposed to be helping them with that. There's a lot that goes on that FEMA should be doing. And when Katrina happened, 3 days after the storm, FEMA was – we seen them. I was in Florida for 2 days before I came home, and we seen FEMA in Florida. I ran into the guy. The guy said, hey, come here, sign up for this. They gave all six of us $2,000 each, and then said, sign these if you need vouchers or waivers. I said, no, I think my house is intact. And we had to get chainsaws out and cut our way through the streets. And as we were doing it, we were actually turning off water valves, hoping we'd have water pressure at the house, and which we did, which was kind of funny. But anyway, that's how we got in. But then all over the place, there was you started seeing Red Cross was everywhere. They were bringing food all over. FEMA people were all over assessing things, checking on people. I mean, granted, there wasn't that many people left in the city or in the suburbs, but still. They were out there doing. I haven't even seen this yet. What are we, 4 days after this storm? 5 days?
Then why are they
Yeah.
stopping? Why was FEMA stopping people from going out and helping these people up on the mountains?
Because it was
Why?
too dangerous. It was too dangerous.
But they're hillbillies, dude.
People didn't
They
give a shit.
know
They
the
wouldn't help them anyway.
they
They
know
they
the
wouldn't help them
mountains.
anyway.
They
And
know
look
the
what
mountains.
look what Trump did. Trump just said "F you." He just went up there with Elon Musk stuff. And I'm still not sure what's going on with Starlink. So I know that they brought Starlink up there to the people who had power that could get it. They brought it out, flew it out on helicopters and stuff, gave people the stuff to get Starlink. And then Joe Biden went on TV and said that we brought the people. He got the people internet. He did. And and NBC and ABC and them carried it like that, even though they all knew that Elon Musk and Trump is the reason they had freaking internet up there. And then, of course, there had to be a retraction because it was a complete and utter lie. And then somebody told me they cut it off. Now I haven't seen it because I haven't seen another article following up since. But still, I was kind of like, what the is going on? I'm telling you, it's like he's wanting to make sure this bitch doesn't get elected. The more you watch Biden, the more it looks like
I think her choice for vice presidential candidate Tim Holtz.
Well, that's a good segue into the debate. That's a good segue.
I think, yeah. Well, I think he's helping her lose the election. He seems more eloquent than he does when he's in other public situations. Less angry and not screaming so much, but the way
he looked right.
He was like this the whole time, looking up, and he looked like I don't know if he was stoned or he just had put on like Visine or something, but his eyes were crystal white, which is unusual for someone who works a lot.
How about his bug eyes, man?
He talked like this a lot, and it looked like he was pleading every time he was answering a question or making.
He looked like Homer Simpson. Is what he looked like.
Please vote for us. We suck. He was.
You know that, right? He looked like Homer Simpson. That's who he looked like.
Yes. Oh no. Yeah, he did.
We need to make a Homer Simpson meme on his ass. So I don't never watch debates because I get too pissed when I watch debates, and it's like football games. I can't watch football games. I'll end up having to buy a new TV.
Well, football games are supposed to be a surprise, Joe. Hello.
No, we're not. Don't even get me started on the NFL. It's not even people. We're not going there tonight. After this, NFL's like wrestling, man. We're not going there. We're going to leave it alone. No, and whoever sent me that, wrestling is not real. Stop it. Just stop it. Oh, man. When I was young, my friends, it's real. I said, it's not real, people. If you lifted somebody and slammed their head like that, they'd be dead.
I can explain to the entire world right now what wrestling is. Vince McMahon, who was the guy who really pretty much started the wrestling phase, he was sued by the IRS. The IRS said, you owe us so many thousands and thousands of dollars in back taxes for your sport. And he goes, what sport? They said the Wrestling Federation, all the money you've been making for it, you owe us your income for it. He's like, but it's a sport. And it's a sport. You owe us this money. He's like, oh, well, what if it's an entertainment? And I said, well, if it's an entertainment, you don't owe us any money. So at least if it's involved with Vince McMahon, it is entertainment. So it is 100% real.
That's what it is.
Yeah,
that's what it is. It's entertainment. We know it ain't real because I was in the service. I'd have picked somebody up slam them like that. They'd be dead. They'd just be outright dead.
If anyone, and this is maybe a little off subject, but if anyone has ever seen Sports Center, they credit their format of the program or their TV show, Sports Center. They credit that to George Michael of George Michael's Sports Machine from Washington, D.C., who's the local news guy. He came from San Diego. I don't remember when, but sometime either in the late 80s or early 90s. And he was a really good sports guy. He's since passed. But anyway, after the Sunday night 11 o'clock news was over at 11:30, he had a half-hour news or sports show called George Michael Sports Center. He had this big console with different sports balls, football, basketball, and he would push each one of those balls for the sport highlights he wanted you to watch. Anyway, he went to a wrestling match at Capitol Center with Jim Vance, who was the head, the main talking head news anchor. Thank you. Anyway, they went to the wrestling thing, and while Jim Vance, the news reporter, was out in the audience watching the wrestling matches, George Michael, the sports reporter, was in the locker room looking for evidence. and he found it. The next evening on the news at 11 o'clock, he challenged Jim Vance to tell him, is this wrestling match you saw tonight or last night, was it real? And Jim Vance says, yeah, the guy bled all over the stage. And George Michael pulled out the script that said, he bleeds all over the stage, like exactly how it was described, how the match was described as it was played by Jim Vance. He's like, it's right here. And he highlighted all the hits and smacks and everything. He's like, there you go, ladies and gentlemen, it's scripted. I about fell off my chair laughing. So, but kudos to those guys who wrestled. They are actual, real athletes.
They're good athletes. Yeah, they are.
They're very difficult, extremely dangerous. Don't be an idiot and try it yourself without some kind of training and safety equipment, or you will die.
Yes, it is. You need to be a pretty good
dangerous
athlete,
stuff.
It's no, but anyway, getting back. So anyway, getting back to the debate. I didn't watch it, so I go in the front, walk in. Linda's up there in the front, and I'm like, oh, okay. And what did you think about the debate? And of course, a couple of my friends were there and saying, what do you think about it? I'm like, what do you think about the debate? And so, like with the Trump aid, when I walked in the front, all of them were up there talking and watching on the big screen, and their faces were kind of like, oh, I said, oh, Trump didn't do that good. And so I walk up this way, and they're all like the cat ate the canary faces going on. So I figured fans did pretty good. Now I've seen a lot of the clips between now and then. There's been quite a few clips out there, and I've talked to quite a few people, with the exception of NBC. Everybody else says Vance won the debate easily.
Yes.
Yep.
Now, yeah. NBC, though, on the other hand, says they did not win the debate. That Tim Walsh-Trounstein is what they said.
Like I said, Waltz was a little more eloquent than he normally is. Usually when he talks after Kamala or with Kamala or even on his own, he generally seems to be like screaming at the crowd. Like an angry, like the weekend detention teacher who has to sit with you for 4 hours while you write some stupid essay.
Well, I tell you what, I don't care. He could have thrown nuclear bombs at J.D. Vance, and J.D. would not move. He just kept his own way. He was just
he kept his cool the whole time. Yeah, I don't think.
And he talked about policies. Is what he talked about.
He talked about policy. He actually did everything Trump should have done in the Trump-Harris debate. So he was a good savior in that aspect, is what I should say.
Here's what I've noticed about the two different sets of candidates. The Republican side, they tend to tell you what they plan to do. Whether they are able to do it and make it work or not is irrelevant, but they tell you what they plan to do. The Democrats tell you what could work to fix the problem, but they don't tell you which one they're going to do.
Well, because the Democrats don't know what the hell they're doing anymore.
Yeah, that's what it seems like. They're like, we can do this, and well, I don't know. They're buckling. I think the whole party's buckling.
So I was talking to a good friend of mine the other day who's a Democrat, and he's telling me about why he's voting for Kamala. I'm like, cool. And I said, well, tell me something she did. And he's like, oh, I said, no, tell me something she did. And he goes on, and I said, okay, well, she didn't do any of that. And I said, that would be Joe Biden anyway. I said, no, but something she did.
That's a good one for,
I said,
what has she done for you lately?
Nothing. Yeah, I said, well, I know she was the border czar. Oh, no, she wasn't. I said, would you like me to play some clips where she said she was a border czar and where Joe Biden said she was? So I played him some YouTube clips. And he's like, oh, shit. And I'm like, yeah.
Both statements are correct, though. She is the border czar, and she isn't, because she was named so by President Biden, but she has never enforced her powers over the border. Therefore, she isn't.
She's a retard. And hi there, whoever you were. I love Jeffrey too. Thank you. Somebody left you a comment there for Jeffrey Pritchett. So I don't know why y'all sending him to this show. No. Jeffrey's on before us. No, Jay don't look nothing like Jeffrey.
Friday with me.
Besides, Jay wasn't on with him tonight. Wham was.
Yeah, it was the faithful Wham.
Wham.
Wham. Smart lady.
She's the second biggest liberal I know. Oh my God. I love you, Wham, but Jesus, man.
No, it's a good thing we don't talk politics on the Jeffrey Pritchett show. So
she smokes Harris. No, Wham's.
Oh my gosh, yeah. Wham is one intelligent lady. You lose any argument with her.
It's there's so anyway, getting back to where we were. So, I watched first. It looked like Reuters was going to try to say it, and then Reuters said, no.
Yeah.
ABC, CBS, even though the two girls were trying to get around it, eventually they had to say no. And who surprised me is what's his name, Major, whatever his name is. This guy hates Trump. I mean, he hates Trump. Major Garrett, that's his name. He's a big one of their big contributors over there, and been a big contributor for years. He's the one who does DC. And anyway, he's going on and on and on, and he starts talking good about Vance. He's like, "Oh no, he did a good job," and he actually was impressed with the guy. And I was stunned because this guy, I'm not telling you, when I say somebody hates Trump, this guy hates Trump. If he even say Trump around him, you can see his blood pressure goes up 30 points. But for some reason, he liked this guy. He was really impressed with him. And he had to admit at the end that
well, another weird
Tim was
thing
no
about
match
this
for him.
Though, did you? I don't know if they pointed this out on any of the other news programs, but they both men seem to at least once or twice agree with what the other man was saying on certain subjects.
Yes. Yeah, they did a couple of times. They did.
And they were cordial with each other, too.
Yeah.
They were.
I was
Oh, no. J.D. Vance guy gave him the side eye like, you bitch, I got you.
Yeah.
Did I say that out loud? Did I say that out loud? Sorry. No, he's denying the side eye, by the way. He said he was looking at the clock. And everybody's giving him shit about the side eye. Oh, people, you have to go watch it to see it. But I mean, they did. He really stuck to what he was there for, policies.
Yes. Policy.
And another good liberal.
And Walls did not know any of those policies or what their policies.
They don't have any policies. They're just trying to get elected. Let me tell you something. When we're talking about Harris and Walls, there's nothing about saving America or helping America. Kamala's seen an opportunity and she jumped on it. She wants to be the first black president of the United States, and she thinks she can do it because she's a wannabe black woman anyway. And
just say woman of color, because I mean that's fair.
No, it ain't.
She has color. I mean, she's brownish.
She got a damn suntan, is what she got.
What do you think people have?
I didn't hear that.
They just have more of it.
Well, if that's the case, Leah is a woman of color. Leah is a woman of color.
Goes to the tanning booth all the time.
I've seen you tan. You're definitely a woman of color.
Isn't Kamala Harris she's half Indian from India and then half Jamaican, right?
That's not true. No. Now we know the truth. Thanks to Janet Jackson's F up when she said, I heard she had some Irish blood, and the media came down on like a ton of bricks. So then, what's her name? Candace. What is that black girl's name?
Owens, man.
Oh, God, I love this woman. So Candace Owens starts digging the facts out on her. First off, she finds out the woman in Kamala Harris's book she said was her grandmother was not. Her grandmother was dead, and that was actually the maid. Yes, the maid. This bitch lies as much as she just can't help herself. I think she's a pathological liar at this point. But anyway, they find out it's a big. So then they find out that her grandmother's last name was Finnegan.
Yes. An Irish.
So last I checked, Finnegan was an Irish name. So Janet was actually right.
Yeah, it's 100% Irish.
And then so they found at least two other white heritages in her. So you can call her a woman of color. That's what you can call her. As far as calling her a black woman, that's not even close to true. If it's true and she's Indian, and then on her other side, on her black side, she's got two whites and one black, then she's not a black woman. She's not like an African or black woman. So
no.
What do you mean, Chris? No, Chris. Let me explain something to you. So when I was a young man growing up in New Orleans, and this sounds going to sound racist as all hell, so I shouldn't say it, but most of the black people I knew were black. I mean, like black. Most of the black people I know today are like light brown. Oh, yeah, look, I've seen them fight in the city. I've seen them fight about the skin color. Oh, yeah, I've seen the sisters get into it about you yellow, you high red. I've seen some serious fights down there over. Oh yeah, they race against their own damn selves. That shit's too funny. But the reason I say that is if you ever meet someone who's from Africa, generally they're going to be much darker. I got a couple of friends who I pick on because they're very, very dark, especially compared to Americans.
They have
So trying to say today, that almost all black women in the United States should just say they're a woman of color and leave it at that. Because a lot of the heritages are so mixed now, it's hard to go. And I have noticed a lot more black people are dropping off Africa off of there when they say stuff. They're just American. They're not saying they're African American anymore. A lot of black people have quit saying that and have gone to start because it's true. You should always put us first. If you're an American, you should be an American of African descent. That's what I am. I'm an American of Italian, Irish, and Scottish and Welsh descent.
Yeah,
but I'm not. I'm American first. So and more people are starting to think like that because that's the proper way of thinking. Anytime you say I'm an Italian American, well, no, that means we'll go your ass back to Italy. Oh, I'm an African American. We'll take your ass back to Africa.
I always
I'm a Spanish American. Don't let Spain kick you in the ass.
I always tell people I'm an American Irish.
Yeah, that's what we are. So, and it is nice to see stuff going back that way. What are you talking about, Jesse? Oh, black friends. I have black friends. Yeah, I have a lot of black friends. Mm-hmm. Well, in the beginning, a lot of people think I'm black to start off with.
Can I say something real quick? I'm going to say something real quick. We'll off the subject there. If you look at all the newses or all the TikToks, or you see all YouTubes and stuff, do you know there is not one person out of all those clips have mentioned that they were Republican or Democrat? Did you know that? Did you notice that no one was calling black people, white people, brown people? There was none of that. They all came together to help people. There was no, oh God, I hate God.
No, there was none of that. There was none of that race stuff because did you see? They had a guy who got ran over by a motorcycle. I mean, he got ran over by a car on his motorcycle. Everybody just rushed over there and grabbed the side of the car and started lifting it off of him. Nobody, none of that matters. And in America, for the most part, I've been saying this for a decade because it's true for the last decade. We're not fighting a race war in this country anymore. We're fighting a class war. This is more about the money than it is about the color. And you know what? People other than white people now have started realizing that this is not about what my skin color is. This is about because this guy over here is stinking filthy rich and thinks he can do whatever the hell he wants. And it doesn't matter what color he is. It's just because he's got the money. Yeah, money tends to corrupt pretty evenly, whatever color you are. Yeah, sorry, guys. I don't want to, make you feel bad.
FEMA got his ass kicked because he was an ignorant son of a bitch.
Yeah. Yeah. Well, maybe somebody stand up. What are you talking about? You mean crime? It just depends where you're at. Crime varies.
Yes.
It's like if you're in California, you're going to see
the FEMA thing though. It seems that they always tend to fail when they're needed the most.
Well, they do fail a lot. Too bad they couldn't have came up in that debate. I would have liked to heard Vance's stance on it. FEMA is a mess. I mean, they always have been a mess.
There's at least one example in the past where, this isn't their fault. I don't think. Maybe it is. I can't say for sure. I was a kid, but a hurricane came through, and I don't remember which hurricane it was, but it went through and devastated so many states, 3 or 4 of them, what have you. And FEMA used their funds to help those people out and used them all up. And then, a month or 2 or weeks later, another hurricane came through, and it may have come through the same place or a different place, but FEMA was out of funds and supplies to do their job. So why isn't a company, or not a company, but a department, a government department like that, why isn't that fully funded?
What?
That's not really hard.
Meet their funds and their supplies. It should be replaced almost immediately, or within, as soon as they depleted anything, it should be replaced. Why isn't
because they're stealing all our donations.
Yeah.
Hey, Stephen. Hey, Eugenie.
That's a good answer. I mean,
Well, that's the point, though. You see, the problem with this is giving FEMA too much money. It's going to start disappearing. Same thing with the Red Cross or the Salvation Army, or any of these agencies.
so it needs constant oversight then.
So, but no, what it needs is it needs, okay, this is your budget. Bam. This is a surplus that we keep in we call it the hurricane. We'll just call it the disaster surplus.
Disaster fund, the disaster.
So here's your budget of $3 billion. This is what you got to work with this year, $5 billion. But we're going to put this $15 billion in here just in case there's some crazy wildfire, some crazy earthquake, or another Katrina. We're going to have it there. And that's the way it should be. And fucking Congress knows that's the way it should be. What happens is you get these people who live in what I call non-disaster states, which is the majority of the states. Only the coastal states.
Well, not so much, because this hurricane has touched parts of North Carolina and the mountains that normally don't see these kinds of.
Well, rain disasters. You're going to see that.
That was seeded. Those clouds were seeded to make that downpour on that chimney rock.
No, I've seen some pretty big downpours from storms before. No, 28 inches in less than 12 hours. I've seen some serious downpours.
I've been to category 3 and 4 hurricanes. It's a lot of rain. It's like someone like opened a garden hose.
The amount of rain that fell there is not unusual for a hurricane. It's just not. Now, saying that the hurricane may have been started that way, that's possible, and then fed along its line up there, because it was always funny to me. I told I was talking to some friends, and I said, you know what? I said, it's a good chance that this hurricane is going to make it to Atlanta as a class 1, as a category 1 hurricane. All the way up to Atlanta, Georgia as a category. And it got real close. It almost made it to Atlanta, Georgia as a Cat 1 storm, which means that it was pulling so much. And the problem for places like Carolina and Tennessee is the feeder bands were still in the Gulf. So now you've got a massive hurricane 450 miles across with feeder bands feeding out of that warm water in the Gulf of Mexico, an endless supply of moisture. It was like 2 big straws and then just dumping it right on top on the other end. That was insane. And it was kind of funny because most everybody said, oh, it's going to break up once it hits that other low. It's going to spin it around and break it up. But it seemed like it spun it around and concentrated it a little bit. And maybe that's why Sean's saying about seed. Maybe that's when somebody was doing something. But Chris, I don't know, because that would be flying storms like that right off the bat are really dangerous. No, it's not impossible. I mean, hurricane hunters do it all the time. But those are usually Navy pilots that do that shit for a living. And it's not usually. I mean, you got to have some pretty big balls to fly into a hurricane. Yeah, you do. But look, these days, I don't trust anything anymore. So I always tell everybody, it's like when people used to tell me there was no such thing as chemtrails. Being in the Navy and working on jets and launching fighters and regular planes all the time, I knew what a contrail was and how it dissipated, what it looked like, how long you could string one out for on cold days. And when planes way up in the atmosphere, 30,000, 60,000 feet, it's way cold up there.
Yeah.
But you ever notice that regular commercial jets don't leave contrails across the sky flying at 30, 40, 50,000 feet? And they just don't. Only certain types of planes leave contrails behind. And it really has a lot to do with the weather and the types of fuel they're using. It's a weird thing to watch. Chemtrails are much different. They sit up there for hours. They don't break up. They spread out. So you can watch when they usually have some kind of weird loop, like it was some type of a pulse drive or something. Because it leaves these weird loops. So you see these things and then they spread out. And sometimes if you see 10, 15, 20, 30 of them streaking across the sky, next thing you know, the whole entire sky will be covered in clouds. Now, it doesn't necessarily always make them rain, but it sure drops the temperatures quite a bit. It's a very strange thing to watch. Plus, because I have airport monitor too on everything I own, I can tell when something's actually flying where it's supposed to be and when it's not. And it has to tell me where the plane took off from, where the plane landed, and what its possible cargoes are, or if it's a tanker. So there's always, that's why I tell people you should always have an airport monitor or one of those monitors, because Airport Monitor lets you go back to 1 year flight. So you can go live, or you can track back 1 year to a date that you heard something happened and looked. It's a great thing to have, especially if you like chasing strange things in the skies. It helps you eliminate a lot of stuff. So does J-Track, by the way. But those two things can help anybody really, eliminate a lot of strange stuff in the sky. But it also help you to see what's flying. Like we were trying to find out, they kept seeing them, these chemtrails in weird places. And then all of a sudden, we were having a meeting when the ICAR was having a meeting. And it came up that we noticed a lot of times they were happening like 2 weeks before a holiday, or 2 weeks before a big event, or a couple of days before a big event. And I got that it was too many of them to be a coincidence. And then so what we started doing and we've been doing it ever since, watching crowd reactions. Still watching them today. Or are they passive and chilled? Or are they violent? What is it exactly are they spraying before these crowds get together? Is it something that chills everybody out? Is it something that makes people crazy? Is it something that triggers off that assassination or that school shooter? I mean, nobody knows. We do know they were spraying benzene in Oregon and Seattle. Yeah, they got busted with that. I have no idea what they were doing with that for. Well, Jack, there's a lot of these. You don't see them as much as you used to. Think about it now. Because of COVID and all, and everybody was stuck at home anyway, you didn't really see a lot of them flying around. With no need for it. Yeah, there were still aircraft flying around. Not a lot, but they were still flying. But there was none of these chemtrails around. I don't know. It's just a little weird. Just something to think about. It's not important. We're getting back to the news now. There have been a lot of poll things coming up, a lot of stuff moving forward, a lot of I will say when we get into polls later tonight, it'll probably show it, but most of what I've read this week does show that J.D. Vance definitely helped Trump. Definitely helped him. And so that was good to see. And there's a couple other things that's helped Trump lately. And then it came out that Kamala Harris's husband beat his ex-wife.
Yeah, I read that.
Yeah. Who would have known?
He's an alcoholic.
Maybe that's why the kid's a he, she, it. Well, while we're on that, so I was talking to a psychologist friend of mine. One of the buildings my company handles maintenance on has several psychologists in it. So the other day they were sitting in the coffee room snacking. They get their little snack outs, I call them. And I was in there talking to him. I said, let me ask you something. I said, when somebody refers to themselves as they or them, is that appropriate? They all looked at me like, why, Joey? Are you feeling like they or them? I said, no. I said, but I hear it a lot these days. People I identify as they or I identify as them. He said, yes. They identified as splitzoid, schizoid. All five of them said the same thing. All five of them. It was a consensus, and they're not even the same kind of psychologists doing the same kind of things. They just all agree that no, if you're identifying yourself as more than one, which is them or they, then no, you have a problem.
Yes.
And you need to have it corrected. Not everything is a good thing, people.
Yeah.
We want to give everybody freedoms, but not all freedoms are good for them or us. So you heard what Canada's trying to do. Is no. If you're crazy, they can just put you in the Looney Institute. If they say that you're
that's
crazy,
the way Europe was in decades and decades ago.
Well, they tried that here, but it didn't fly.
It didn't work here either. Yeah.
Well, from what I understood, L. Ron Hubbard had a lot to do with that.
Maybe, yeah.
It's probably what got him in trouble. Well, no, he was at the time. He had been a captain in 2 different fleets during the war and 2 different seas. And he had a bunch of guys that were had been injured and were in there, and he was trying to get them out. So he was working on ways to help them, the worker getting themselves out faster. Mm-hmm. While that was going on, these pharmacy companies were just dumping tons and tons of drugs on these guys, which wasn't helping. They were just like
making them more paranoid or list.
Yeah, they did. I mean, it just wasn't helping them. So he was trying to get them off of them, and then they got together. I think it was 4 pharmacy companies and a couple of big senators and House reps, and decided that, look, if your doctor or your family says you're crazy, we can just pick you up and send you to a loony bin in Alaska. Well, Elrond at the time wrote to every senator and colonel and then captain and everybody he knew and House rep, everybody he could think of, to let him know what was going on. So I imagine it cost the industry, because you know how much drugs were going to be sold up there, a lot of money. So I'm pretty sure after that, because I was looking back on reels about him, and from about 55 back, he is super popular. I mean, super popular. People just love him. And he hadn't really did anything for them not to have loved him other than that. So what's that, Jack? He is the founder of Scientology. Yes, he is. Well, he died in 86. So I don't know how long he was the founder of Scientology for, a couple of years. I know somebody who knows, but I'm not going to write him and ask him right now. Yes, every religion has their leader in their start, their Messiah. Oh, well, we're doing a show on the man called Jesus. I think that's what we're going to name it, maybe. Something like that. It ought to be an interesting show. It should be. You know what? Hold on. We got a couple of things I want to go through. Let's see if we can find them right quick before we switch into poll mode. Oh, look at that handsome devil. Oh, yes. Well, I love you too, Big Joe. Damn, get out the way. Get off my screen, you ugly bastard.
What?
It's okay.
No,
Here
you're
we
not
go.
ugly. You're just downright cute, dude.
All right, let's not get started with these cute words, man. Guys should never be called cute. There's something just
You're
fundamentally
sexy,
wrong.
though. You're
All right,
just
I can go with
sexy.
sexy, but I can't go with that cute shit. Makes
I
me
get
sound
called
like
Charlie
a
Brown all the time. I
Oh
can't
my
figure out
god, I love you, Charlie Brown. Let's see. Hezbollah ceasefire. Shit, sorry guys.
what. Start again.
Hezbollah ceasefires mysteries deepens after leader's death. So Israel's. I got to give Israel beats first. They got the best intelligence organization I've ever seen on a freaking planet. So they're killing all their leaders. Now they're going after the potential next leaders. They've
Oh
killed
shit.
a couple of them. So nobody wants to be leader anymore because they're going to probably get killed. That's one way of keeping your leadership from growing. No, I'm serious, people. That's a true story.
Yeah, I think it's Fox has it's like a pyramid of pictures of all the leaders from the top one guy who's now dead all the way down to like, I don't know, like there's like 20 or 30 guys on there, but they all have like little red dots next to their faces because they've all been killed. It's just hilarious.
Now, this is going to probably be upcoming on one of the UFO on the covers pretty soon. CFI classified book about pole shift, mass extinctions, and the true Adam and Eve story. Okay. I know what that is, but if I told y'all, I'd have to kill everybody listening tonight.
Yeah, I know what it is too, but it's still unverified.
Okay, what is this?
Unverified. Even the CIA book, it's unverified. I'm sorry.
Let's see. Newsweek sends us this article. Let's see what you got for us, Newsweek. Donald Trump chances surge in major election forecast. Ooh, go Uncle Trump.
Well, what was the surge he got after he got shot in the ear? It was like, what was it, Texas? No, Iowa. He went up 52 points in one afternoon. I remember that.
Yeah, let's see. The economics latest election forecast shows Trump has a 1 in 2 chance of the Electoral College in November. Well, that's just 50-50. Oh, no. Okay.
Well, no shit. I mean, there's two candidates. Anyone can say that. Yeah, you got a 50-50 chance.
So right now they consider him to have 264 electoral votes, meaning he's 6 short.
Mm.
Last week he had a 2 in 5 chance. Oh no, his odds.
You can get that with Pennsylvania alone. Pennsylvania's worth 7, right?
Yeah, he's
20.
Yeah, his odds. His. I think it's 19. Yeah, for sure. It's his odds have improved drastically. So. But see, it goes, well, Camilla has a 1 in 2 chance of winning electoral college too. Yeah, whatever.
We just talked about that.
It's but they're saying that Trump's chances of going up extremely well, and he is beating her in almost every major thing that people are voting on.
Well,
while we're on that,
money is the one that she's losing.
So this was interesting. CNN, I don't know what's wrong with CNN. CNN is swinging the other way, baby. So CNN comes out today and goes, okay, let me show y'all something. He said, this is why I'm picking Trump to win. And the other moderator's like, what? And he's like, yeah, I'm picking Trump to win. So no president or anyone seeking the office has never won as an incumbent or anything else if the overall approval rating was below 39%. Currently, depending on which one you look at, the Democrats' approval rating is between 23 and 28%. No one's ever won that low before, ever.
Wow.
It's so I mean it's always a realm of possibility, but they actually think the approval rating is lower than that. It's probably closer to 24 or 25%. The guy said it's never happened. He said this was the lowest, and it was a pretty famous president, and they wanted 39%. All the rest of them were 41, 42, or 43%. He put the last 6 elections up, and none of those elections did anybody win below 39%. So, and that's significantly below 39%. Then on top of that, Trump is 21-point favorite in the economy, 21-point favored in immigration, 25-point favored in dealing with the world. The only thing he's not actually winning in is abortions. And that he's not even as far behind as he should be. He's about 14 points behind. He was 26, but I think Vance helped soften that up some. So I don't know. Plus, two other unions came out for, and in some union she was bragging about was coming out for. All of their people said they're voting for Trump.
Wow.
I think it was the electrical union, actually. Yes, I'm kind of like, I don't know. And then if the forecast is correct, so in 2020, we pulled 12 to 14% of the black vote. It's up significantly this time. They're thinking they could see it from anywhere from 18 to 26%. Anywhere in that point puts the candidacy out of reach for the Democrats. And they're saying Hispanic votes are going to probably be in the 40 or 50% range. So remember in 2020, the Republicans broke every record they had for black votes, Hispanic votes, for the number of people, and still lost.
Also, don't forget they broke their own Democratic Party rules of how to put a candidate up for president.
Yeah, and that's another thing that everybody has to come to terms with. Is Kamala Harris a legitimate candidate? This is going to be tough. So, if by a miracle she wins, first thing you're going to hear is Trump didn't have the appropriate time to run against her, which was 1 year. So that's going to be right off the bat. Then you're going to hear that she had no one voted for her to be a candidate. And that's going to be all in there. And there's going to be a couple other things in there. And then that's going to go in front of 3 or 4 courts, and then it's going to end up in front of the Supreme Court, and they're going to declare her an ineligible candidate. And then what happens? Does Tim Allen become president? No, that can't work that way because she's ineligible. She shouldn't have been running. Tim Walz. Tim Allen would be fun, actually. Sorry.
Tim Allen might actually do a better job. But yeah, no, I would think the next candidate would win, and that would be Trump.
So I just, they're already bitching because the Supreme Court gave it.
She didn't qualify. He didn't qualify. Neither one of them can go. So Waltz is out too. Boom.
Yeah, I don't know, but I know this is going to end up in court any way it goes. And if they're in complete control, they're going to try to shut it down any way they can.
Yeah, probably so.
What's his name from the Senate already said, Schumer already said, we're going to have to immediately vote to change the Supreme Court. We're going to have to do like a 51 vote to change the Supreme Court. And first they got to do away with the filibuster, then they can change the Supreme Court. And,
can you tell me what that means, Joe? Please.
Well, the filibuster allows, with a filibuster, you can't do a 50-51 vote. It's got to be 60 or more for them to win. So they just get up there and yap on for days on end sometimes, but they can't stop them because they're allowed to do it. And then, of course, if they don't get to 61 votes, or they lose, so it doesn't matter. They're trying to do away with the filibuster because that would mean, the Democrats changed the law a while back, the rules. It used to always be 61 or higher to pass a bill. But since the Congress don't always get that high, they can't guarantee that many votes. They change it to a 50-51, which means that the vice president can be the decide factor in any vote. So they want to change it so that's that way, so they can just get a 51 vote, and then change the rule, and then go ahead and then try to remove the people from the Supreme Court. Now that is going to be iffy skiffy. They want to put term limitations on, that's fine, but the Supreme Court will have to be grandfathered, so you'll have to start the term limitations from this point, or you're going to have a revolution in the country. Nobody's going to agree with that, because if you can do that, that means when the Republicans take over, they'll just come in and throw all the Democratic candidates out and put all the Republicans in. And that's the other thing. You can't go and change the rules and then throw the majority out and then put your majority in. That's just fucking cheating is what that is. So, I mean, I just, it's just not a good idea. And I don't think the country's going to be receptive to that. That's like be living in a communist country. But that's why they want to win the House and the Senate and the presidency. Then they can try to do all of this. But I don't know. A lot of people are not going to go for this. I don't even know if all the Democrats are going to go for it. It's pretty bad. And a lot of Democrats have expressed disappointment in trying to get rid of the filibuster, because like they've said, they've needed it in the past. Last time they changed the rules, the Republicans used them against them when Obama was president. They changed the rules in the first term, and then when the Republicans took the House and the Senate, they used it against them, simple majority. And they were getting all kind of shit passed. They didn't need Obama, because all it's going to do is come around twice. Yeah. What do you mean, Chris? Okay. A president can veto a bill, but if it comes back through and passes again, it doesn't matter. Yeah, it goes by the president. Yeah. If you can get through to Congress twice, somebody said it was 3 times, but I think it was twice. It goes past the president's veto, because it means that the country really wants it if it gets through twice.
I have a question for you, Joe, on this subject. Obama came out with something where the newspapers can say whatever they want. What was that?
Well, I don't know.
He did something like, I heard that, and can Trump come in and just take that out? No.
Well, no. Newspapers are guaranteed by the First Amendment. They can say whatever the hell they want anytime they want. That's the First Amendment. Until somebody changes the First Amendment, they can do it all they want. Matter of fact, that's what the big fight is with social media right now. Is social media is trying to get around the First Amendment. And the government's trying to use them to get around it, because they don't think you should just be saying, look, they're talking about rules where if you post what they think is disinformation, you can go to jail.
So what about those faux news places like The Onion and Chive that are all like,
they'll all have to close down.
News reporting agencies, but all their stories are, BS.
Yeah. Even things like the Huffington Post will have to close down because their stories are so tainted and so one-sided. They'll be out of business because they'll be lying. Yeah, it'll actually, the internet will become a really boring place is what it'll become. And then Americans will start doing like everybody else does. We'll start looking for places on other internets on other countries. Yeah, people, what are you talking about? No. In the beginning, the United States internet was pretty much the world's internet. But now pretty much everybody has their own internet that interact with each other. Yeah. What do you think? China lets this internet in their country? Not a shot in hell, my friend. No, I'm sorry. China's not letting this internet into their country now.
They use the skeleton of it, and they do put their own, I guess you could say, content on it. But yeah, they use our system, do they not? I'm pretty sure they do.
They've I think by now they've kind of upgraded it to what they do themselves, because they have Alphabet, not Alphabet. I forgot the damn name of the company, but they've kind of upgraded to their own now. But it doesn't really matter, because anything that comes in via us, they change the content anyway to make it fit whatever they want it to fit. North Korea doesn't have an internet. No, they don't. They don't even have really TV or anything. They're not allowed to do anything. They're not music, concerts. They're not allowed to do anything in North Korea. Why do you think they're so pissy all the time? Shit, they want a nuclear war just so they can die and not have to live this fucking life anymore. But on the other hand, South Korea has a great lifestyle, and a lot of stuff going on. What was that, Jackie? Is it true South Koreans eat dogs? They have in the past. I'm pretty sure it's been outlawed now because the world's had such a shit fit about it. It's been outlawed in China. Doesn't mean it still doesn't happen, but I'm pretty sure it's been outlawed in South Korea too. You got to remember, people look at things differently. Look at us. We eat cows. The Indians think we're sick bastards. They worship the cow. I mean, we think it's delicious. Who's right? Who's wrong here? That's what it comes down to. So,
Yeah,
I mean,
the cows the Indians worship, they're skinny. You can see their bones. They don't have any meat on them.
Well, it's because if you get too much meat on somebody over there, might eat the damn thing.
Yeah.
It's the problem with all this is it comes down to perception. And what do you think is right and what do you think is wrong? Well, Americans think, dogs are pets and companion animals and work animals. So we don't think you should be eating them. Especially American dogs. They're probably high in cholesterol anyway. But people like the taste of dog. And they're a decent size. If you got a decent size 40, 50, 60 pound dog, 80 pound dog, I mean, what do you mean would I eat dog? I've eaten a lot of stuff. I can honestly say I've never eaten dog. I'm not sure about cat, but I've never eaten dog. It's I've eaten a lot of strange. I've eaten a lot of strange things: snake, grasshoppers, ants.
I've had grasshoppers, ants, emu,
raccoon, possum, all kinds of different types of fish.
Have you ever tried
alligator?
Baloo? Have you ever tried Baloo?
A baloo? What the hell's a baloo?
Okay, that's a Filipino thing. They bury goose eggs in the sand for 8 months.
Oh yeah, ugh, no.
And they pull it out and they eat it.
It's a partially formed duckling. It's disgusting, Joe.
Okay, you can keep it.
But that's true. They do eat it.
They've shown it on.
I don't doubt that.
Factor and Survivor and some of those other reality, game show things where you win $1 million at the end.
Hey, Michelle.
I knew about that in the 80s, dude. When I was in the Navy.
It's Well, anyway, we're a pet-free eating show, so we'll just say that up front. None of us want to eat anybody's pets. Anyway, we got to get back to the news. We get sidetracked. Oh no, we talked about the debate, Carl. No, it's the consensus is amongst almost all the media, with except NBC, which cracked me up when I listened to him. Vance won. I was telling them Major Garrett, who's a big over there at CBS or ABC, wherever he is, he kind of took Vance's side. I was in shock, man. That Trump hating son of a bitch.
Do you know also Vance's side was Jack Tapper?
Yeah, he did. I heard him come out with it too. No, Trump's still favored last time I checked in Vegas to win and in Morocco. On this was MSN and this particular link we were talking about him. This was U.S. elections. They've been smoking Kamala for weeks, but they're now putting Trump ahead, saying he's going to probably be your next president. Anyway, moving on. Would you like to go to Mars? Nuclear rockets could travel to Mars in half the time, but designing the reactors that would be power them isn't easy. What was that, Sean?
Mars don't exist, man.
Oh my God, that the Mars don't exist.
Oh.
Who said Mars don't exist? I will shoot your ass to Mars.
That's all.
I am sticking you in a fucking rocket shit and sending you up there.
CGI. That's all CGI.
Okay, look, Mars was here before CGI was. Shit that freaking Greeks and Romans and Egyptians and Chinese can tell you about Mars. What's that shit? Oh yeah, Mars has been seen in the skies since man's been able to look into the skies, and
the moon hasn't.
Yes.
The Venus the same way. Venus has always been seen. Why can't we go to Venus?
No,
because Venus is hostile as hell to us,
and it wasn't always there either. Venus is the only planet in this solar system that rotates counterclockwise to everything else.
Oh, excuse me. The flat Earth people call them elemental beings.
Oh my God, you flat earthers! I would say what you flat earthers can do, but this show is not. It's R-rated. That's as high as I can go. So y'all are lucky. What's that, Christopher? It's well, and I've said this a million times on this show and other shows. Being in the Navy, I've got to fly at 80,000 feet. And, you're full geared, I have oxygen mask. So anytime they're testing a new thing, if it depends what your job was. At the time when I was a PC, We used to go up for test flights with them. Well, the pilots are very strange about their tech crews and their maintenance crews. They want to know that you feel safe to go up in that airplane. No, I'm not shitting you on this. They want to know that you feel safe to go up in that airplane wherever that airplane's supposed to be going. And so, matter of fact, when we used to fly out to Fallon, Nevada for the bombing derbies, we didn't fly out on the cargo planes. Each one of us flew in a fighter out there with them.
Mm.
Yeah, the number 2 went out on a big plane. No, they just the way they did things. I got to be in quite a few fighters. No, sorry, F-35, F-22 wasn't around when I was in the service. F-18 Hornet was, though, and it was a beast. So was the F-4 Tomcat, F-14 Tomcat. It was a beast. But anyway, enough about all of that. What's that, Carly? No, it's not UFOs. No UFOs tonight. Even though Lee, I think, is a UFO, unidentified flying object.
Female object.
Yeah, there you go, female object. Anyway, y'all keep giving me sidetracked. We get back on the damn news. No, I ain't looking at no more of your damn questions over there.
Let's look at the banner. We kind of did North Korea. We kind of did.
We're coming back to circling in. Right now, we're just doing the news that we got it, and that's in the descriptions.
Yeah, we still got to hit Russia and a few other places.
Let's see. Iran cannot set off a global oil crisis without hurting its big ally. I guess its biggest ally is who? Can't be Russia, right? Russia's got its own damn oil.
Could be those 7 little dwarf armies, Hezbollah and Houthis and whatnots.
Well, right now oil is what, $78 a barrel. That's what, 59 pounds a barrel. $79 high? What are you talking about, Peter? That's high. Under Trump, we've seen oil as low as $50 a barrel. I mean, literally, we've seen oil under $1 down here twice. Usually, it was around $125 when he was president. Yeah, I want them prices back. I drive a lot, man. Come on, I want those prices back. Israel won't last long. Iran Supreme Leader issues chilling message in rare public address. I'm coming for you, Israel.
Wait, Khomeini said that? The religious leader or the actual political leader?
I think it's the. Hold on, let me look. It is the Ayatollah. Yes, the Ayatollah Khomeini.
He's supposed to be in hiding, coward. All right, well, whatever.
He's claimed Israel will not last long and rare. Dude, Israel's
I hope he realizes, of course, he's committing political suicide for his country. If he full out attacks Israel,
he better leave. Look, he better learn. He better learn. Look, Israel couldn't. I mean, Iran couldn't take Iraq.
No,
so they better leave Israel alone. Israel's going to kick
NATO
their ass.
Or America. They're toast. If they do a full on attack, they're toast.
Yes, let's see what we got here. Wait, where did this come from? Why women 60 plus are ditching their old underwear? Well, we don't need to know about this, man. Who sent us this?
Wow.
Oh, what the hell?
Who's got the panty fetish?
Who sent us this, man? Come on. Oh, it's a commercial. Okay, hey, man, don't send me shit with commercials on it. I don't want to see no damn commercials. And I'm just reading. Oh, here we go. 66 million years ago, 2 asteroid strikes doomed the dinosaurs, reveals 5-mile crater. So now, which most of us have been saying, one rock couldn't have killed all the dinosaurs. So now there's 2 rocks.
2 rocks. At the same time.
2 rocks, yes.
Or one after another.
5-mile crater. Yes. Wait a minute now. Wait, y'all moved it? Researchers have imaged a hidden scar, which is in advance of a cataclysmic event impacted millions of years ago. 5-mile nerdy crater, massive impact crater, 300 meters beneath the Atlantic Ocean floor. Okay. So one hit in the Yucatan Peninsula and one hit way over in the Atlantic Ocean. Okay. It says it definitely coincides with the one that hit in Mexico. Sorry. Well, people, I'm still not sure if that's what it is. I'm still having issues with how the dinosaurs went extinct. Hey, look, I told everybody in the beginning it wasn't 1, so they came up with 2 now. So it's always funny to me when just everyday people bitch about something and all of a sudden it changes, like the universe. I've been talking about the universe since I was 18. Since I was 30, I've been telling people that Big Bang Theory is bullshit. There's no way it could have formed that way because some of the galaxies are sitting still. Some seem to be clustered together. They're not all
Okay.
in
What
different
about Big
directions.
Bang Theory, the TV show?
Well, I like
Hey,
the Big Bang
Michelle.
Theory. I like
Michelle's
that.
in the house. Hey, Michelle.
Let's
My
see.
dad liked the show. I didn't care for it. I thought it was.
Let's see.
asinine.
Where are we? It had its moments. I couldn't watch it all the time, but it definitely had its moments. Russia is facing time bomb at the heart of its economy. Economics says
Wow.
at current rate, Russia will have expended all of its money before the end of this year and will be financially destitute. Without help from one of its big allies, meaning China, because the United States is going to bail them out, they will find themselves in a pre World War One Cold War situation. Sorry.
Well, let me ask you this question. If we bail out Russia, if this is all going to go down, if we bail them out, we own them then, right?
Yeah.
We own
Well-
Russia.
Well, I mean, we were helping Russia out a lot, and then Putin got in. Well, actually, Medvedev got in, whatever his name was, and he started getting a little hostile to the U.S. And the U.S. started asking for a lot of shit. And then, of course, Putin came in, which is KGB, and he became hard nosed. And it was okay, he could deal with even Obama could deal with him somewhat, and Trump just put him in his place. Trump said, "No, we're the most powerful thing on the planet. We're not going to abide to what you want. You're going to abide to what we want, or we're just going to put you out in the doghouse." Is what we did. I mean, he's the reason. Trump is the direct reason why right now Russia and China are near bankruptcy because he's sanctioned their asses into Never Never Land. And then for some reason, Joe Biden decided to do some sanctioning himself. So without the United States and Europe sucking your ass, you're dying. China is well on its way to becoming a second world country, maybe even a third world country. So, no, Bruce, it does not have the largest world population where India does. It passed them. Was it last year or this year? It's not by a lot, but India passed them, and they were forecast to pass them. By the way, yeah, they were forecast to pass them. Taiwan official warns China, Russia, Iran forming an alliance after Blinken says no axis exists. Blinken is an idiot.
Yep.
He could see an axis if it was tied to fucking shoes. What do you mean? Yeah, I can curse on this show. If you fuck you, how's that? No, I'm serious. Oh, you never heard me curse before? Well, I'm sorry. Didn't mean to offend you. Because none of the other shows I host I can curse on. No,
My
science
ears are
and-
no longer virgin since
That's
I've been
right.
hanging out with you.
Yeah. Science and Beyond I can't curse on. UFO Undercover I can't curse on. The Arthur's Quill I can't curse on. But this fucking show I can curse on. Yes. And you know what? If you don't like it, fucking Ruku, excuse me, you can kiss my big happy you know what. How you like that?
Well, you can say the F word, but you won't say the ass word.
No, I wouldn't, because that's not what I had in mind. I have nothing about that region, but I was thinking about something entirely different. Would have put us into like an X rating. And Michelle might have hurt me then. So anyway, getting back to the news that y'all keep sidetracking me from. I agree that Taiwan, China, Russia, Iran, and North Korea are the new axis. I don't trust them, none of them. Well, China would rather be our friends than these morons because China wants to become us. They don't want to be these third world countries like what we're talking about. Iran is a third world country.
Yep.
All right, we'll say second world country. I don't want to hurt anybody's feelings. North Korea is definitely a third world country. Russia is becoming a second world country, and China has never got out of. China is actually a third, second, and first world country. It has about 250, 300 million people living like we do, or the Europeans do. It has about another 200 million living like our poverty level, and then it has about 800 million living the poorest thing you could ever think of. Hey, that's just and they've got to deal with it. It's not us. We're not causing that. They had that long before we did. Heavy Israeli airstrikes target likely successor of Hezbollah leader in Beirut. We were talking about this just a little while ago. So Israel's a beast. What is that, Chris? Yeah, it is. It's probably them hot women that Israel has. They sending them in as spies. I don't know. I think they pay in people is what I'm thinking they're doing, but they got some really good spies. Come on, guys. They got everybody a pager and then blew their asses up with them. I mean, who the hell does that kind of shit? I've never even heard of that kind of stuff before.
But I mean, think about it. They said it had to have been put in place for years, and it's still no one. I don't think anyone has claimed responsibility for it yet, have they?
No, they say it was Israelis though.
Well, you can say that all day long. It doesn't prove it, unless you can prove it.
Oh, you know what? Maybe we can play this. Let's see if it'll let me play this or not. Let's see. What's that, Jennifer? You mean Kamala? Oh, she only talks though she's not drunk. Okay.
Oh, and her ads.
Okay, sometimes. All right, I'm gonna be as polite about this as I can be. My grandmother was an alcoholic. There were several people in my family as alcoholic. As a young kid, I remember spending many days at AA with her, hanging out at these clubs, these big smoke-filled rooms, playing bridge and all sorts of other shit. Just being there for each other. And I remember how a lot went over the edge. And then I became a grown-ass man who drank like a fucking fish. I knew lots of friends of mine who were alcoholic. There's a certain way you talk, speaking slow, like, hi there. I'm Joe Montaldo. Very nice to meet you today. Okay, I'm not slurring. Okay, she slurs. No, you only slur when you're loaded. You don't have to be drunk. It could be pills. I'm not saying it's alcohol. I will tell you this. One of her aides, I think it was her number one aide, left 6 months after Kamala became VP, saying she had an alcohol problem and she had a temper problem. Which makes sense if she's married to a man who beat his ex-wife, which means these two probably fight it out. What do you mean? Oh, no, she wasn't married to Montel. She just dated him. We're not going to talk about Montel, but it's there was a lot of that going on. But she's by no means anything perfect or anything else, but she's definitely got an alcohol problem. And it's not just me saying it. There's other people that have said it. And there's other aides of hers that have said it. She's got a drinking problem or a drug problem, one or the other. She might just be popping Xanax, a volume or something. Something along those lines. It may not just be alcohol. It might be a combination. But there are hundreds of YouTube videos you can go listen to her before she was going to be VP, where she's just, oh, yeah. I mean, she's just goofy. She makes Joe Biden look like we should have left him running. I'm serious. Everyone, even Democrats call her a laughing jackass. And now she's got to have Obama out there, Mr. Obama out there, and Miss Cheney out there trying to help her to win this election. I wouldn't doubt the two of them were sleeping together. I wouldn't even doubt it. I would feel for Harris if Michelle found out, because I think Michelle would beat the living crap out of her. But then again, Michelle might be happy and say, "Oh yeah, take the bastard. I got other things." You never know in those kind of relationships. Because Bill sure does what he wants to do.
He won't touch me tonight.
Yeah. Shame on me for starting rumors. I didn't start that rumor.
Yeah.
Well, what do you mean? They were talking about Jennifer Aniston and him been having an affair. Yeah, Jennifer came out on some TV show just recently to say, "Oh no, we weren't really having that. We're just friends." Anytime a woman says you're just friends, it's just bullshit. Women never say that unless it's no. I'm sorry, I've been around a long time, and we're just friends. Yeah, bullshit. That means somebody's getting some poontang somewhere. Hey, I don't make this shit up. Anyway, we're gonna get back to we just got a lot of news articles across tonight. We still gotta do polls.
Dude, we
gotta get Sean, and we gotta get Sean in bed.
Yeah.
And, I can't marry him off to no cute women if he's looking rough.
Sean's got to be at work at 5, and I got up to go to work at 5 this morning.
Yeah.
So.
Good night, guys.
Appreciate it, Sean. Be good, baby.
Bye.
Bye bye. Okay, where was I? Wait, where was I? Let's go back over. Oh wait, I was looking for something, wasn't I? See how easy it is to get sidetracked, people. You get to playing around, you forget what the hell you're doing. I wanted to see if I could play this. Let's put it on YouTube right quick. And let's go find us. What's that, Jimmy? No, we can play all kind of links on here. This is Voyager's trip out of the solar system. Just something unique for y'all, something different. Nothing political, nothing bad, nothing horrible. Something just nice and peaceful for a change. What's that, Raymond? No, we do stuff like this. I mean, we get some good stuff, and there's some other links in here we might go through tonight. Why? Well, damn it, sorry. So let's see right quick. I'm gonna post y'all up here. Let's put this on full screen. I think there's a full screen on it somewhere. Maybe not. Okay, no, maybe. Huh, no full screen. What kind of crap is that? So of course this is who looks like Earth and the moon. Oh well, what planet could this be? Frederick's planet. Hi, Frederick's planet. No, I ain't got no bourbon in my coffee. I wish. No, that's Jupiter. Who said that? For real? Have you been hanging out with Jay?
Huh.
Okay, Titan, I guess we're not going to get to see. Tried, nope. Oh, well, look at this. We're not going to get to see these. Oh, speaking of Saturn, no, when's it losing its rings? In our lifetime, right?
I'm not sure.
I remember its rings are going away. Well, they say Earth used to have rings. They found out recently that we had rings. Not sure how they found
all the
that
planets started coalescing as rings of small rocks. So all of the planets here had rings at one point or another.
There's Saturn, yes. And Saturn's on its side. Our planets in our solar system isn't exactly the most organized group. We got them sideways, spinning the wrong way, upside down, spinning weird orbits. What is it? Uranus that spins in a weird ass orbit.
No, Uranus has a moon that's tilted on its axis, so it rotates on its side. But it still rotates counterclockwise, like all the planets and things in this solar system. However, Venus rotates clockwise, which is completely different than everything that spins in this solar system, meaning it probably is formed in a different solar system that spins.
No, but it's Neptune and Uranus. One of them's got a weird orbit. It passes in between the planets and stuff. Like it doesn't do like the normal planets do. It's some weird, I can't remember which one it is. Anyway, it's not that important. Gold. I want this record, man. I'm gonna hop in my spaceship tonight, zip out to the outside the solar system, grab it. I wonder how much this thing is actually worth. I mean, what's that, Jack? This is the record we sent out with space. Yes, this is the thing we sent into space. It actually talks. This is an actual record. Well, people, that was a technology.
There are instructions on the other side on how to make a player to make it play.
Yeah, see right here on the left, you see both sides of it. This is the record on this side, and this is all the different stuff on the. Well, excuse me.
Like our
on the other side,
where it came from.
And then there's Voyager itself. Voyager. See, there's 1 and 2 that you can see them for yourself. There's one way to hell over here, and then it's way out here now. And that's right. That's 2, and then there's 2 way out here now. They're outside the sphere of our solar system. They're not actually outside the gravity of our sun yet, but they're outside the sphere of our solar system. I can't remember exactly what it is. I think our sun is 4 light years, which is like halfway to Proxima Centauri. No, that's be all the way to Proxima. So it's got to be 2 light years. Sorry.
Yeah, so and I think they're like, what do they say? They were beyond the effect of the sun's gravity now.
Yeah, it's outside the sun's gravity.
That's how they describe it. Yeah, and outside of the Oort cloud as well. Yeah,
it's passed through everything. It's in interstellar space.
Yeah, both of them.
Yeah, they're both out there now cruising along, and every now and then they see something weird or hear something weird. They've been surprised. One of the things they were talking about is how how black they weren't.
Well, allegedly, the first one went offline. Well, we went off course first, then went offline.
Mm-hmm.
Then mysteriously, like a year later, it came back online on course. Go figure it out.
What's that, Jesse? No, they were trying to work on it, but nobody knows what happened to it. They thought the battery died. And then they were doing different software. Then they thought they had some kind of big software failure. And then they were changing stuff all the way around. And then one day it just started working. And it was where it was supposed to be. They thought it was way off somewhere because it was changing course and doing weird shit. Mm-hmm. And then it was right where it's supposed to be, working where it was supposed. Coincidence. They fixed it. ET put it there. Look, there was one of the rovers on Mars was dead. And a dirt devil, this is the explanation, a dirt devil came and shined up the solar panel, and the thing started working again. No, I'm not kidding you. They actually showed the solar panel. My problem with the solar panel was that bitch was squeaky clean. I mean, squeaky clean, like somebody took some Windex and a rag. I mean, you didn't even see anything on the edges, so it must have been one hell of a little dirt devil, is all I can tell you. I don't know. I mean, I'm not trying to be conspiracy or anything. It was just very strange. That's it. Well, Carl, so there is a new thing came out. The universe is way, 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 way bigger than you think. Way, way, way bigger than you think. So currently estimates 13.8 billion years, if I remember correctly. I think they're wanting to put it at somewhere like 17 or 18 billion years.
Wow.
See, when you start talking about stuff like that, even 13 billion is enough. I mean, if there's races that are still alive from the start, they're so far, they are gods. There's no other way for us to look at them but that. Unless they've reverted, the only one way for us to look at them is as gods. I mean, come on, because they're going to be so far advanced, it's not even going to be funny. So this kind of bugs me. Wait, where'd it go? Sorry, guy, I dropped it. Okay. Many more ancient structures waiting to be discovered. Lost chunk of the seafloor hidden in Earth's mantle found off Easter Island. Easter Island is already kind of what the hell was going on there. Now we found a bunch of artifacts off. All these new radars we're using now are finding all kind of stuff. They have found several civilizations 5, 7, 10,000 years old that we never knew existed. We don't know what happened to them. It's gotten to the point that it's getting weird. Plus, all of a sudden, we're finding all kind of new species on the planet, and animals that we thought were extinct are coming back. It's almost like Mother Nature's recycling. It's making me a little nervous. Like it should get ready to evict the current tenants. What's that, Jackie? What do you mean? I mean, evict the current tenants. Like, get off me, you no good humans. You don't belong here. The highest city in the world is also the most horrific. Wow. They say nobody should even go there because most everybody suffers from altitude sickness. But yet, tens of millions of people cross the world live. 200 people go through at 15,980 feet. Why do people go through there? Idiots. It's called La Rinconada. Rinconada. Sorry, guys. Some of these names are a little weird. Here's another one of these. Archaeologists uncovered a community lost in time for 5,000 years. Another one. I mean, they're everywhere. It's everywhere we look, we're finding a new civilization. Humans were spread out all over the damn place, and we're just starting to figure it out. 5,000 years means before Christ. It would be in the BC era. Where are we at? 2,500. So that would be like, what, 3,000 BC or something like that? Watch an alien world orbit a star 17 years away. 17 light years away. Okie dokie. Well, that looks cool. Wow, what the hell happened there?
What? Put it up.
Hold on. I was kind of weird looking. Okay, stop, pause, go back. What's that, Jimmy? Now I'm going to post this up in just a second. Let me grab it. Let me get it out here. Well, because they're on... No, I have to put them on Google because StreamYard doesn't like Microsoft. They're anti-Microsoft. What can I tell you? No, they're pretty much anti-Microsoft. They just really don't like Microsoft. Hold on a second. Stop. Okay, do like that. Let's get nope, do like that. No, I'm gonna put it up here in just a minute. Y'all see it. Hold on. Let's see. Present, share screen. No, we do weird stuff like this. I was just telling you a few minutes ago. Yeah, hold on. I'm gonna put it spinning here in just a minute once I know it's on the page with us. There it is. There it is. Okay. Here we go, people. This is a star that's 17 light years away, and we're gonna watch it go around its parent star just for a minute, so don't get crazy. Here it goes. Whoa, lights up. Goes behind it. Goes behind it. Boom, lights up. How fast is this thing going, Jay? I mean, this thing is whooping around this star. Okay, and then we found humans on this planet or something. What the hell just happened? All right, guys, I'm not sure what happened was going on there. We'll have to do another one of those. That planet was hauling ass. I don't know how fast the thing was going. Mitchell, Mitchell Wright House. Okay, how you doing? Welcome to the show. What you got for us tonight? Yeah, let me see. Hold on. Let me see if I can find that. Where'd you send it? Let's go see. Oh, okay. Yeah, no, I did see this. Russia suffers major blow as Ukrainian destroys radar worth $100 million. How many of these radars have they destroyed? I mean, Russia, they're leaving a big wide open gap when you so America can fly its whole fucking Air Force up in there. I mean, at this rate, they're not going to have any air defense. China is headed for financial ruin. Yeah, we already knew that. Couple builds hurricane-resistant home. Film how it fared and against Helene. No, we're not watching that. No, we ain't watching that. That's just like plugging somebody. We talked about this earlier. Putin meets with shamans in Mongolia to ask about using nukes. The man wants to nuke Kiev, people. I don't know why y'all can't get that through y'all's heads. He wants to nuke Kiev. Well, I like to call it Kiev, but Kiev, whatever you want to call it. Long lost ship packed with gold discovered in African desert. Holy crap. Why can't I find one of them? Mm-hmm. So this one's bugging me ever since I said this. I need to thoroughly read this article. Scientists detected signs of a hidden structure inside the Earth's core. Now, what do they mean by structure? Like, did some alien build their house down there or some shit? What's going on here? Well, no one, when you look at our planet and you don't really think about the little core inside, I shouldn't say little, it's pretty big, but, or the layers in between, you just think about what us on the surface. I think the core is somewhere 9,000 degrees Fahrenheit, give or take a degree or two. And most of that stuff's in my head. That's useless information gets stored in there from somewhere. It has been slowing down and speeding up and even stopping. Nobody knows what the hell's going on with it. Oh, here's a quick one. Ukrainian F-16 pilots have had to dramatically change the way they fly after long flying Soviet jets. It's a lot to overcome, says pilots. We're gonna put this up. Hold on. Jay might like this if he gets to see it. Let's go change this out right quick. What do you mean, who's sexier, Kamala or Trump? Why would you even ask me a question like that? I think that would fall on Jay. Let's see. Let's go look right quick. All right. So there's going to be someone speaking here. I have to remember to definitely make this private afterwards. Let's go see present. So this is a 2017 ruins that were found on Mars. Several people had looked at these, and I definitely thought these were ruins. So let me go ahead and put these up right quick. There you go, right there. Let's hit play and take a look and see what they think.
Last couple of years that it's hard to put it all together. From a barren and desolate planet, Mars has proven us that it's more interesting than we'd ever thought before. Mars is approximately half the diameter of Earth with a surface area only slightly less than the total area of Earth's dry land. Mars is less dense than Earth, having about 15% of Earth's volume and 11% of Earth's mass, resulting in about 38% of Earth's surface gravity. But Mars is extremely similar to Earth in many ways. Experts have proven that the red planet was once strikingly similar to Earth, having an atmosphere, lakes, rivers, and oceans covering its surface. Not long ago, NASA revealed that Mars could have supported life as we know it, but everything changed when the red planet lost its atmosphere. According to scientists, the slow destruction of our neighbor's planet's atmosphere was caused by huge rope-like tendrils of magnetic rotations. The red planet's once hospitable atmosphere was blown away in the distant past. This means that when Mars was much younger, it was much warmer and wetter, meaning that it was a very planet spinning atmosphere which caused things that alternating polarity field observations show that parts of the planet's crust.
It's not having access to 1 million industrial-grade products.
Oh, really?
It's the feeling of knowing you'll find the one you need. Granger, for the ones who get it done.
Have been magnetized, suggesting that alternating polarity reversals of its dipole fields have occurred in the past. However, there are more things on Mars that have caused confusion among experts. NASA's rovers exploring Mars have noticed spikes in methane readings on the surface of the red planet. On Earth, 90% of all methane in the atmosphere is produced by living organisms. Curiosity captured traces of methane on the red planet, and scientists believe this could point to the presence of life on the red planet at this precise moment, although there are other possible explanations. But while Mars may not have life now on its surface, many scientists argue that in the distant past, the red planet may have some but advanced complex life form physicist who got his degree from UC Davis and who has seemingly life was purposefully destroyed with nukes. And a scientific that during this
Oh,
period of
whatever.
time
This is
when
bugging me.
science most intensively investigated. Data from these sites formed the basis for the Sidonian hypothesis, Brandenburg, Di Pietro, and Molinar, 1991, of an ancient, indigenous, approximately Bronze Age civilization on Mars. And curiously, each day new images from Mars prove that there's something odd on its surface. In the last couple of years, countless images from Mars have been analyzed thoroughly to show what appear to be artificially made structures on the surface of the red planet. All jokes aside, some of the stuff found on Mars makes you think what if somehow life on Mars developed millions of years ago and was eventually wiped out? Would we not find traces of such life today with odd structures? Asteroid craters dashed, but astronomers are mystified by how they developed. That second, however, the secondary crater ejecta has an unusual raised relief appearance like bas relief sculpture. NASA has admitted it does not have a conclusive answer to this enigma. One idea is that the region was covered with a layer of fine-grained materials like dust or pyroplastics about 1 to 2 meters thick when the Zuno impact occurred about a million years ago, and the ejecta served to harden or otherwise protect the fine-grained layer from later erosion by the wind. UFO and anomaly hunters see these structures vanish near the red planet's equator are a series of structures that have sparked an online debate about ancient life on Mars. For further information about Mars and the possibility that I was inhabited at some point in the distant past, we come across one of the most fascinating statements about the red planet made when General Stubblebine said, "There are structures on the surface of Mars. I will tell 76. I will also tell you that there are machines on the surface of Mars, and there are machines under the surface are who they are. And
Yeah, we'll have to find out when we get there. No, Jack, that was mostly conspiracy stuff, but still, it was always fun to watch. No, we're gonna do some polls, and then Jeffrey, Jay's probably sleeping, man. He's probably just hanging out with us, man.
Yeah, I'm zoning out here, Joe. I think I better
Yeah,
go
you
on.
better go get some rust. Yeah, get on here. I got it handled. I'm just doing polls, so it's easy, baby.
All right, man. I'll catch you next Wednesday.
Yes, Wednesday. Stay out of trouble till then. I'll see you then.
Yep. All right, man. Have a good one.
Thanks again. So was that Christopher? No, we're gonna get into polls. No, I got to do the polls. Can't not go to polls. So depending on who you go to, like if you go to the Independent, Kamala Harris beats Donald Trump. Latest poll updates by 0.5 point. Ooh. See, anything inside of 4 points is kind of a waste of time because it's inside the plus or minus error. So far, only 1% of voters said that the original debate changed their mind. That's across the board. That's many ones. Yeah. Well, like these two polls here, both of them have Trump ahead by 1 point. But I mean, it like I just said, it doesn't really matter on those so much because, well, mainly because they're inside the error. I mean, they got 4 points of error. Remember this. Hillary was beating Trump by 6.5 points, and he won the election. I know. Now, who sent me this? Ancient underwater stone bridge unveiled, 5,600-year-old structure, redefines human history. We're finding this all over. Yeah, I don't know what's going on. We're finding stuff all over the place. Record spike in high earthquakes around Washington, high threat volcano eruption. Holy crap, man. Russia forces struggle against new anti-ballistic missile defense system. Yes, I wish we'd get through all of that. Well, there's a lot of stuff going on in space and time and wonderful stuff that we'll do in other shows. I did see the Jack Smith thing. I read through a lot of the stuff. A lot of it sounds circumstantial. Who sent me this? Jack Smith's use of obstruction law limited by Supreme Court fatally undermines case, Trump's attorneys argue. 3 people disagree with special counsel Jack. Oh, this is from Democrats. Election interference case falls apart under recent Supreme Court precedent. Plus, most of what's being said here is by third party. Yeah. Well, it doesn't matter because the judge said he doesn't have to deal with the case till after the election. And of course, if he wins, you can't prosecute a sitting president. Yeah, so. And by the time he gets out, the statute of limitations will be gone. I have heard eventually that the one in New York will end up in front of the Supreme Court and probably will get think about what they did. The case that New York brought, all the charges they had brought had already expired. They were past the statute of limitations. So he called Garland called the prosecutor, and then they decided on some obscure bullshit that they were going to make them federal cases, even though they had expired. So on the federal cases, they had a longer turn to go ahead and go after what they were doing. They go after and prosecute. And of course, there was not a shot in hell he was going to ever get a fair trial in New York. It just wasn't going to happen. No, they asked a couple of times the motion to move. The guy said that the judge and the prosecutor both were anti-Trump in 2016 and in 2020. They were anti-Trump, said all kind of horrible stuff about it. And they should have never been allowed to. No, they should recuse themselves. And that's another reason it'll probably get overturned by the Supreme Court. There's lots of reasons. Just New York pulled some shit. And everybody agrees, even the appellate judges agree, the fine was stupid and ridiculous. Yeah, so this guy just hated Trump. So judges like him should be put in prison. Yeah, because they're abusing their powers. They're seriously abusing it. It's a serious abuse of power. There's a lot of good stuff though, James Webb. Yeah, I've seen a lot of good stuff. But anyway, let's no, we're gonna get to the election polls. Yes, because I got what you said. You got the munchies. Shame on you. Why do you have the munchies? So let's see what's going on here. Oh no, I was listening today where they were trying to say that she was going to flip Florida. I was like, But of course, I've heard people saying Trump's going to flip New York. So I guess we're going to have to wait and see. Nationally, she's 2 points ahead. North Carolina, Trump is ahead. Florida, Trump is way ahead. Michigan is a tie, which last week she was up by a point. New Hampshire, she's got it. Ohio, Trump is killing her. Arizona, Trump's up by 2 points. Georgia, Trump's up by 2 points. So wait, let me go back. These are swing states we're talking about now. So North Carolina, he's carrying. Michigan, he's carrying. Georgia and Arizona. That's the election, my friends. I hate to break out to you. Nevada, he's tied. Pennsylvania, he's tied. Oh, I don't know. Wisconsin, she's up by a point. Well, if this is the true state of things, Trump's your next president. Yeah. Oh, I heard him today say she was going to flip Texas, too. Actually, Trump's going up in California, not down. He's going up in New York, not down, too. Right now, most polls have Trump at around 44 to 45%, and Kamala around 46 to 48. They got like polls like 270's got her at 54%. I don't know where they got that from. No, because she's been driving through towns and cities, and there have been Trump people standing on the curves. Not, yeah. No, she's ahead in Minnesota. New Mexico, she's ahead, but Trump's made big progress in New Mexico. He was in the 30s. Now he's up in the mid 40s. Oh, yeah. Colorado, there ain't no way, even though he's made progress in Colorado. Two of the Maines he wins. One he loses. Montana, he's killing him. There's another Maine he wins. So that's 3. Missouri is killing him. Arkansas is killing him. Washington, he's at 35%, but there's still 15% undecided. So that could end up being a flip. Oklahoma, he's killing her. Nebraska, he's killing her. West Virginia, Utah. And actually in Oregon, he's looking like he might catch her in Oregon. She's oh, shit, I didn't realize this. She's in more trouble than I thought. But this is 270 to go. So right now, if 270 is right, Trump's your next president. Because he's got Georgia, Arizona, Pennsylvania, and North Carolina. Yeah, that gives him the election. Well, it doesn't matter if she's ahead in the national poll, because she's always going to be in the national poll, which I don't know right now. I'd have to question that, because just the other day they said there are more registered Republicans than Democrats. So her being in a national poll has to be questioned, since there's more Republicans than Democrats. And there ain't many Republicans, less than 2% are voting for Harris. And, well, no, actually a little few more Democrats voting for Trump, around 7%. Yeah, I know. It's getting a little scary, isn't it? I know it is. No, that's just 270 to win. And if 270 is correct, then Trump is your next president. We are still 4 weeks out. Anything can happen. Well, you got to watch, because even 270, most of the places they're polling are Democrats. So when you see a Democratic thing pull and she's only up by a point or two, that means she's actually behind. Yeah, because it's all Democrats. It's nothing else. And if she's only pulling, like 50% amongst her own party, or 48% amongst her own party, that means she's in way more trouble than we want to talk about. Who's winning the presidential election? Oh no, that's old stuff. You know, it's amazing how much old stuff stays on the internet and they don't clean up. Well, I just did that one. I was going to do the presidential election, but it was from the first debate. Yeah, but that's what I was saying. It was from the first debate. See, this poll has Trump ahead in Pennsylvania by 2 points. They also have him ahead in Arizona, Georgia, and Michigan, and Nevada. So that's what I'm saying. It just depends what poll you're on. Oh, I trust the polls to an extent. Well, I own APC, American Polling Company, and right now Trump has nationally been polling ahead of her by 2 points, and all but 2 swing states he's winning by at least 3 points. Our polls have picked the last, last 4 presidents. Matter of fact, the only person besides us who had picked Trump to win in 2016 was the Los Angeles Times. Don't ask me, but they were pulling Trump the whole time. They weren't pulling for him. They just said it was going to win. Now, this is 538. This is another polling company. Now, this tells you how desperate things get in our country sometimes. So in this particular poll, sorry, something's going on real quick again. In this particular poll, when Joe Biden was running, they had an entirely different set of people. And what I mean by that, so when you go into the polling thing and you look at where they get their polling data from, it was all different. Soon as Harris ran, so they used to get it from a couple of different colleges and a couple of other places. So they instantly switched to the Napoleon Institute. That's who they get most of their stuff from. That is a complete liberal rag, is what that is. And what gets me in that is the RMG research has Trump and her tied. I mean, they're big time Democrats. And then, of course, Data for Progress also is liberal. They have her up by 3. And that's as of today. October general election, St. Elm's College Survey Center. You can't get much more liberal than this college. They have her up by 7. Presidential election, active vote, that's another liberal. They only have her up by 1, but still, they're very liberal. Presidential election, New Jersey, another liberal group, have her up by 12. That's how you can tell, dude. 12. There's no way no. The U.S. The Economist, that's all liberal stuff. Emerson College, the whole bunch of them. Emerson only has them tied, but NPR, PBS News, they're so liberal it stinks. They only have her up by 2. They don't have any conservative groups on here. No, none. You got to go all the way back to when Joe Biden was president to find a liberal group on here. I mean, a conservative group on there. Well, because they have to make you think that you're winning. They have to get their people motivated, but they got to be careful with that, because if you push too hard on your winning, then you may end up losing. So let's see. What do we have on the swing states on president? We have North Carolina for Trump, Nevada for Trump, Georgia for Trump, Arizona for Trump. And Pennsylvania is a tie, and Michigan is Democrat. So let's see, in the Senate, looks like New England's going to win red. Ohio's going to be close. Texas is going to be red. Florida going to be red. Montana going to be red. Michigan going to be blue. Yeah. I mean, you did these people. I know yeah. Well, it's like the RMG research keeps them at a tie. That's why they've been keeping them. Data for Progress, again, at 3. And then you get these ones at 7 and 12 and 16 and 18. NPR has them. Well, there's no self-respecting conservative or independent watches NPR. It's a joke network these days. But that's what I'm saying. There's nothing in here that's red. And what should bother Democrats the most is like this one. This is a definitely all blue college, and she's up by 7. Yeah, but that still means 44% of them Democrats picked Trump. That should scare the shit out of them. Yeah, a lot of these are, since these are all liberal organizations, anywhere he's up 40 points should scare him. Yeah, I think that's what I got Obama out on the trail. But that's 538. Yeah, that's a polling company. Real Clear Politics generally gets close. They try to be as close as they can be. So let's see what we got in here. Let's see. Oh, this is the swing states, or what is this? Michigan Trump by 1, Ohio Trump by 7, New Hampshire belongs to her, Arizona Trump, North Carolina's a tie, North Dakota's Trump by 27, Lord. National poll has them 1 point apart. National poll has them 1 point apart. So here you go. Just perfect example. Emerson has them tied. NPR PBS has her up by 2. Rasmussen has him up by 2. One's a liberal organization. One's a conservative organization. This is Pennsylvania is a tie. Wisconsin, she's up by 4. Wisconsin, he's up by 2. Wisconsin, she's up by 2. Michigan, she's up by 2. Michigan, he's up by 3. So it just depends what group you're asking. North Carolina, tie. Georgia he's just up. She's not up anyway in Georgia. Nevada, he's up, she's up, he's up, she's up. That's just crazy. Virginia, she's up. Oops, where did it go? North Carolina, he's up. South Carolina, he's up. All across the board. Georgia, he's up again. Pennsylvania is a tie. He's up by 2. She's up by 1. Wisconsin is a tie. Arizona, Trump 3. Arizona, Trump 4. Nevada, Trump 1. Nevada, Trump 2. Montana, Trump 17. So right now, barring any unforeseen stupidness, he should be. I've said this before, and I hate to say it again. This is his election to win or lose. Oh no, we're not done. We're still going to do some more polls. Those are just the top polls. Let's see, Nevada. Where are we at now? Nevada, she's up by 1. North Carolina, he's up by 1. Arizona, he's up by 2. Georgia, he's up by 2. Michigan, she's up by 2. He's up by 2. So really, for her, it's just Michigan and Wisconsin. All the rest of the swing states are Trump's. She can't win like that. And so is her nosedive in there, where she was going way up on a regular basis. It looks like she's crashing down. So these you're gonna love these. So CNN has them tied. Quinnipiac has him tied. Reuters has her up by 6. Economist.gov has her up by 6. IPS has her up by 6. NPR has her, the new NPR poll only has her up by 2. Economist YouGov have them tied. Every one of them ones we just talked about, with the exception of, I think, Quinnipiac, are all liberal. And she's barely ahead in any of them. And let's see, NBC has him up by 5. Fox 2. New York Times poll has them tied. Yahoo Gov poll has them tied. ABC poll has her up by 6. So if she's in a liberal, if it's a liberal anything, she's up by 5 or 6. If it's not, he's up. It's by the people who take, well, I'm going to tell you a little secret that I learned early on. So this is election poll 24, Harris versus Trump. This is the New York Times. National polling average. Harris is up by 2 on the national average. North Carolina is Trump's. Pennsylvania is a tie. Nevada is a tie. Michigan, she's up by 1. Trump's up by 2 in Georgia. Trump's up by 2 in Arizona. So it's 1, 2, 3, 4. He has 1, 2, 3, 4. Oh, in the Carolinas, he's got 5. Again, as it stands right now, unless something changes. So if Trump takes North Carolina, Georgia, and Arizona, that gives him 281. He's got those 3, by the way. I don't know what to tell y'all guys. No, we still got a few more to go through. Well, that was New York Times. This is the Washington Post. The Time basically has them tied. This is the Washington Post. Nevada. Jesus. So here, y'all going to love this. Nevada, 0.2 is the difference between them. North Carolina, 0.5 is the difference between them. Arizona, 0.6 is the difference between them. Georgia. So these 3 right here give Trump the election. He's winning all of them. And then Harris is in Michigan, Pennsylvania, and Wisconsin, 0.3. No shift in Pennsylvania. So there's not even a full point on any of these in any of the 7 battleground states, according to this. Holy manoli, crap, fanoli. And these are with all these liberal polls doing this, and they're still coming out like that. I know. It's hard, man. It's hard. Let's see. Let's see what we got here. Okay, we don't care about all of that. Nationals, a tie. North Carolina. Texas, we don't care about any of that. Okay. So, Harris 49, Trump 46, RFK 2.6, where he's out now, so that 2.6 goes to Trump, which puts him at 50.03. I know. It's interesting to watch. It really is. Quinnipiac has him tied. OPS has her ahead. CNN has him tied. Morning Consultant has her ahead. NBC has him way ahead, which I don't even doubt that. YouGov actually has him tied. JJ Partners has him tied. RMG Research has him tied. New York Times has him tied. New York Times has him tied. Harris X has her up by 2. Fox Beacon has her up by 2. Fox, you suck. Mammoth University. There's just so many bullshit polls in here. And these go back way back to September 3rd, so it's not like we even need to worry about them. The Economist is pretty much blue, but we'll go look at it just because somebody asked me to. Right now, 3 points. That's at the Nationalist between 2 and 3 points. Forecasters forecast that Trump will probably be your next president, regardless of what the polls show at the moment. Well, that's interesting. CNN, what y'all got, CNN? CNN says they think this is going to be about turnout. Let's see. Trump raised $44 million. Harris raised $189 million. Trump spent $61 million. Harris spent $173 million. Well, you got to question numbers like those. Really and truly, I think it should go back that you have to fund your own campaign. No, really. And you can't take donations for more than $20. Well, you and I can't make a big donation. We're not like some of these CEOs who can drop $7 or $10 million, but they can't give them to the candidate. They got to give them to us. All that shit should be illegal. Yeah, all that should be illegal. No, it really should. I mean, that's some of that stuff is ridiculous. Harris favorable and unfavorable rated generic ballot polls. It's so this is another one I was talking about earlier. This has her favorability rating at 25%. The administrative rating, which she's part of, is at 25%. Yeah. Oh no, you're going to see things like her favorable rating is 50%, her unfavorable rating is 47%, but that's bullshit. Nobody believes that anywhere. You can't even sell it to people. No, they're not buying that crap because that's not how America feels. When you see the polls right now, her performance as her job is at 25%, and no incumbent's ever won at 25% before. Well, no, technically she's the incumbent because she's the VP. Yeah. Well, Trump on this poll, Trump's favorable is 48 against his 52 unfavorable. So even there, they're like slapping each other on the ass. Well, a lot of these polls just are garbage because they're not. And when you start reading into these polls, none of them are more than 1,000 people. Most of them are less than, or around 100 or 120 people. Yeah. Yeah, it's yeah. That's why she's got them out there, because he's got the states he needs to win. Well, here you go. Marist College, that's a liberal college. Emerson College also. Susquehanna polling also. You only got two on here that are not liberals, and both of those Trump's winning in. One he's up by 5 points, one he's up by 3. It's all about where you poll at. Used to not be like that, but you know, people have gotten cheesy as we went along. Well, polls used to be pretty good, but like I said, the poll said that Trump was going to lose to Hillary and he beat her. The only problem I had with the 2020 election is that the Republicans broke every record they had. The amount of black vote, the amount of Hispanic vote, the amount of actual voters, and still lost by like 6 million. It was hard to believe since this is what the real problem was. There were more people voted blue than there were actually people registered. So there was definitely some kind of cheating. Well, right now, there's more Republicans voting than Democrats. So it should never be that close, even with the independents, because you know at least half the independents are going to vote Republican. And if it goes on economy, so right now on the economy, hold on, let me go find it for y'all. So if you ask what's the 5 major things, the number one is economy. 28% of people trust him over her to take care of the economy. The second is a border crisis. 21% of them trust him over the border crisis. Number 3 is world affairs. It's almost 30% trust him over her on crisis. I think 4 was abortion, and she was only 8. It was 8, 12, 14 points ahead of him. And actually, Vance helped him gain. and then getting the country back on track. 31% think Trump can do it better than she can. So when you see this, you have to ask yourself, how can the polls be that close when in everything else he's beaten her in? Well, you can't cheat if it's not close, but that's just how it works. Yeah. Oh, wait, here's a new one. Daily Mail sends one in. Donald Trump takes his biggest lead yet in Daily Mail election model. All right, go Trump. Again, like I just said, it does take, depending on where it is. They're showing Trump with the walk-in poll 13 points ahead. He was 5, nice 13. Again, it's all about where you poll at. And then on top of it, they break it out. A slew of recent surveys have shown Trump with leads in key battle states, and data processed throughout Daily Com and through all the rest of the partners shows former President Trump winning with 56% of the and 56% of the simulations. Yeah. Because in most of the places where they say it's a tie, he's winning. So he's already got the three swing states he really needs to win, unless something screws up. 3 of the other ones he's tied with. So I don't know. I have to say he's going to be your next president. What do you mean? I hope. Well, over Kamala Harris, yes, I do hope. I ain't going to lie to you about that. I can't stand Kamala. You mean Hillary? I was a fan of Hillary until she became Killary. Yes, I was. And then she just became this weird, sicko, wacko woman. Yeah. Again, it really just depends on Forbes thinks she's 2 points ahead nationally, but even they're not saying she's winning in the swing states. It happens sometimes. Because if you pay a lot of attention, a lot of polls, a lot of times you'll see a big number up top and she's ahead here. But when you start reading through the thing, you find out that it's not really what's going on. That he's actually winning the election. We'll see. I mean, I don't know. I'm not making a call yet. The poll, we close our polling through 2 days before the election. So those polls will decide who they think is going to win, and then we decide on election night. We all get together on election night, a bunch of the hosts, and we get it out. The station has called the last 3 elections correctly, but depending on the very first election, we call, what was it, for Obama's second term, and it was pretty easy. And then what was it, Trump's first term, Lily called it at 7:30. That's how sure she was that he was going to win. And then we called it for, even though Trump was way ahead in the 2020 polls and everywhere, we called it for the Democrats because we figured that, that's where it was going to go. What do you mean, Gene? Do we think it was? I don't know what to think. I know when I went to bed at midnight after that Tuesday night working all night, Trump was far ahead in all the polls. Even in Pennsylvania, he was up, I don't know, a long ways. And then there was only 4% of the vote left, but somehow he came back. Not only did he lose, but he lost like 40,000 votes with just 4% remaining. There was a lot of these where there was only 2 or 5% remaining, where he was way ahead, and then he was way behind. So there's some suspicious stuff going on, but it was what was done was done. It was the same thing with like Al Gore. Sometimes elections get stolen. What do you mean? Do I think Al Gore? No, I don't think Al Gore won. Well, my problem's always been the same thing when it came to that thing. Jeb Bush was governor of Florida with an 85% approval rating amongst Floridians. I can't see them voting for Al Gore when Jeb's brother was running for president when he had such a high approval rating. There was no way he was taking that state. That was an attempt to steal an election is what that was. And by the way, everybody says, it wasn't counted. No, that's not true. In the end, they did count every vote, and Trump and Bush did win that election. Yeah, they went ahead and finished the count, even though the Supreme Court got tired of it and said it's the end of it. They went ahead and finished the count. They did that in case they had an argument, but they didn't. Oh, you mean about the 28% approval? So that's the truth. That came out. A couple of CNN did it. I think CNN put it on. Excuse me. CNN did. Fox did. Somebody else did. And they showed any party coming in with a 28% approval rating did not ever win. 39% was the lowest. No. They're talking about her approval rating as a person. They're not talking about her job rating. We're talking about her job rating. Yeah, her job rating, she's not no 50%. Ain't nobody saying that. She doesn't. The only job she had was Bortazor, and she screwed that. Yeah, nobody. And what does she know about money? Does she understand financing? No, she doesn't. She's never been filthy, stinking rich. She don't know how to make real money. And she's with a wife abuser. Is that the kind of person you want to be president? What do you mean? Project 538, I think, belongs to ABC, which is just liberal as all get out. Yeah. Well, those companies are going to, any place he's winning, they're going to try to stretch it as much as they can. They'll be doing like 0.3% and shit like that. Yeah. Pennsylvania, pretty much everywhere I look, it looks like it's a tie. Some places will give her a point, some places give him a point, but most places put it within 0.2% of each other. Yeah, that's. And with the exception of Trump's 3 swing states, all the rest of them were inside the margin of error. So I know. That's what I'm saying. But I mean, let's see. We got one more of these. We already did New York Times, CNN, Pennsylvania. Let's go see if there's anybody else we want to do. You mean what? Pew Research? Pew is, well, judge for yourself. No, people like Reuters and all them used to not be all liberal crazy, but they are. Oh, let's see what BBC has to say. BBC poll tracker. No, this isn't BBC America. This is just BBC. Yeah, let's see what's up there. Let's see what's this. Oh, this isn't our election. This is theirs. Sorry. Damn. I hope they were talking about ours, but they're talking about their own party. Labor 1, Conservatives 2nd, Reform 3rd, Lib Dems. Damn, they're 4th. Green is 7. Snap is 3, and Plaid something another is 1%. What the hell? No wonder y'all's country's so effed up. Lord have mercy. And I wonder about ours. Jesus. No, I'm serious. That's, well, Politico here. Who sent me Politico? Where's it at here? No, Politico is so lefty, it's not even funny. It would be like sending me the Huffington Post. What? Well, you can go online and ask what states does Trump need to win. You can go to, there's a couple of maps that you can go play around and move stuff around to see what the outcome's going to be. Yeah, it's kind of fun, actually. Yeah. So even these people agree there's only going to be 3 states that decide the election. It's going to be Pennsylvania. Yes, Pennsylvania, Georgia, and North Carolina. And Trump is killing in Georgia and North Carolina, and he's tied in Pennsylvania. She's not getting Georgia now. Yeah. Well, she's winning in Wisconsin and Michigan, but he's actually winning in Nevada. He's winning in Arizona. He's winning in Georgia. He's winning in North Carolina, and Pennsylvania he's tied in. So her aides are telling her it's very problematic. Pennsylvania is very problematic for her. Let me see what it says. Aren't important. If Harris loses Pennsylvania, which her aides are acknowledging it's a very highly challenging state, she still would have to pick up one of the two states as well as a southern state to win, so long as she carries Michigan and Wisconsin, which she probably is. But she's not going to get Georgia or North Carolina. So it's not what we think. Well, no, I mean, all it is says Trump's going to be your next president. So far, that's what it says. She's putting up a good fight, but it just looks like in certain places Trump's got her edged out. And, polls are all great, but when you walk in there and you're thinking that under Trump, I had $50 in my pocket and today I got 10, you're going to vote for Trump. Yeah, that's just the way it is. NBC, Trump has never been ahead in NBC. I don't think any fucking Republican has ever been ahead in NBC. Yeah. Current Senate, 51 Democrats, 49 Republicans. It looks like that might be what it stays. You never know in these elections. All I know is the argument against Biden is still the same argument against her. Why didn't you do anything about fixing anything? And who the fuck is running the country? She's not. He's not. I'm getting a little worried. Campaign for the White House remains close as former Donald Trump continues to hold the 2-point lead over Vice President Kamala Harris. Latest Rosman poll reports. National Telephone Online Survey. Yeah. Oh, and their margin error is only 2%. Damn, that's pretty good. Nope, that's about it for us. I think that we done crossed a ton of polls. Oh, wait, here's a CBS poll, I think. Nope, they kicked it off, whatever it was. Yeah, they kicked it out. Where is somewhere there's a BBC America? I mean, a BBC poll tracking. Wait, hold on. Oh, excuse me, started yawning. So North Carolina, Georgia, Arizona are Trump's even by this poll. Pennsylvania is a tie. Nevada is Trump. So she's going to Wisconsin and Michigan she's had pretty solid. Pennsylvania's been a tie with everybody. Trump's easily winning in North Carolina, Georgia, and Arizona. So that's 32, 43 votes. Yes. And then let's see, Michigan's 10, Wisconsin's 10, that's 15. Oh, I don't know. Even with Pennsylvania 15 and 20 is what? 35, so she's got 34. Trump would have, I don't know. I don't know if she can win this. I don't want to say for sure because I don't want to jinx nobody. I'm just kidding. No, we got to get out of here in a few minutes. What you got? You got about 12 minutes. Canada. What do you mean Canada? I listened to, what was it today? They want to make everything green or no carbon emissions by 2035. And I was listening to the woman, I think she's from Ottawa. Is that what she said she was? She's the prime minister there. And they were talking with the, I guess he's the guy in charge of the green new thing in Trudeau's territory. She was basically, because he said, by 2035 is done, we're going to have to start putting people in jail. She goes, well, I guess I'll be the first one he puts in jail. I was like, shit, man, Canada going to go to war with themselves, I mean. I got a lot of friends in Canada. Shit, my station manager's from Canada. Yeah, they can't be having no wars up there. So let's see, Arizona, Trump. Georgia, Trump. Michigan, what's her face? Nebraska, Trump. Nevada's going to probably be Trump. North Carolina, Trump. Pennsylvania is a tie. Wisconsin. Shit, Wisconsin's only 0.06. I don't know. That could be a tie. Let's see. National early voting. I don't know. No, it ain't going to be that way this time. Let's see. Biden 306, Trump 232, Clinton 227, Trump 304, Obama, Kerry, Bush, Clinton. God damn, look at Clinton. He won with 370 and 379. Yeah. We're going to see. Just the reason Trump didn't win last time was because of Georgia, North Carolina, Pennsylvania, Arizona, Nevada. He lost all the swing states last time. Yeah, I don't think that's going to happen this time. And he still got 240 votes, so. No, I'm sorry, 232 votes. I apologize. No, I went back and checked. Of course, this is NBC. We can't never trust NBC, but National Basement Center, news, whatever. Oh, here we go. NAACP poll. Oh, shit. Black voters balanced by Harris more excited to vote in 2024 than in 2008. I don't think so. I haven't really seen that anywhere. Oh, we got 3 white people telling us how excited the black voters are. Survey at NWC Partnership Hit Strategies and Heart Research found 78% of black voters feel the same sense of excitement as they did with Obama, 56% being more excited. Oh. Well, Trump took 12% last time. He's forecast to take 20%, so I don't think your little numbers are right here in NAACP. Holy shit. It's better than I thought. So right now, if the election was held today, according to the NAACP, 51% of black voters said they would cast their ballots for Harris. As of 30% would vote for Trump. That's a landslide. I don't think a Republican president's even gotten close to that. I think 12% was the highest. That would, if that's the case, she's definitely lost. I'm glad to see all this. I'm glad we found this one. Huh. I would have never thought that. I would have thought the numbers from the NAACP would have been higher because they're a liberal group. No, we're getting ready to get out of here. Any other questions before we go? Who's my favorite? What? No, we're not talking about that kind of stuff. No, sorry. I will check right quick. Give me a second. Let's see. 80,000-year comet last seen by Neanderthals. Damn. And who's saying this? What company is saying this? No, I don't think we got to worry about that one. Okay. Yeah. Well, no, people have said he's in risk of losing Florida, but they also say Democrats are in risk of losing New York. Wouldn't that be a weird thing? I know. That would just be weird. He flipped New York, she flipped Florida. That would be crazy. Last time I seen in Florida, he was up by 4 points. I don't see that big of a risk there, but you never know. World oldest map dating back 3,000 years reveals details beyond Babylon's empire. Well, I'm glad to hear that. You mean the demographic groups on this one's been weird. A lot of these people who normally vote Democrats are voting Republican. I mean, almost all of the damn with the exception of teachers union, almost all the unions have come out for Trump. And then, according to the NAACP, up to 27 to 30% of the black voters could vote for Trump. That's outrageous, man. Yeah, that's outrageous. No, that's outrageous. That's a huge difference. And they're saying 50% or more, 40 to 50% or more in Hispanics. If you don't win this election, you'll know that our elections are fixed. There's no doubt about that. Not from these kind of numbers. Well, here's a good one for y'all. So did y'all know that JFK gave Trump a bigger bounce than Taylor Swift gave to Harris, right? Yeah, that's true. But it's even crazier than that. So they said in the beginning, they said 480,000 people went to register to vote when Taylor Swift first said she was going to endorse Harris. So then they downgraded that to 388,000 people went to the site. Not to register, that went to the site. Last I heard, the registrations was under, I think, 30,000 people out of 380. Well, one thing people didn't stop to consider is you have to be 18 years old to vote. Not all of Taylor Swift's fans are 18, probably less than half. I would say probably 60% of hers, or maybe even 70% of her, are not voting age. And out of the 30% that are, apparently not that many of them decided to vote. Or maybe they were already registered. Who knows? Yeah, but it wasn't this big, huge bump that they were trying to make out. What do you mean? It could be dangerous. I mean, the Secret Service seems to already be taxed, and they're going to go ahead and drag along Obama and well, I don't think they care about Cheney, but she's nobody. No, she's not even a senator anymore. She lost her job. Yeah, Arizona fired her ass for going against Trump. Yeah, they fired her. They said, "Out you go, baby." Her daddy is anti-Trump, but only because she is. Trump, Dick Cheney is so much like Donald Trump, it's not even funny. Yeah, that's why we used to call him Darth Cheney. Yeah, he's a lot like Trump. Y'all got about 5 minutes of questions. What you got? Yeah. Well, no, those kind of shows. Okay. So the thing about the man is we're doing on Jesus as seen from other than being a Christian. You know, what did the Jews say about it? What did the Muslims say about it? What did the Romans say about it? Did any nearby other races or emperors or anything like that talk about it? Which, by the way, they did. So we're going to be talking about all of that on the show. It's to prove the existence of the man. It's not to prove he was a son of God. It was to prove the existence of the man and nothing else. We're talking about the man. That's all we're talking about. Who he was, how he got there, what other people interacted with him, was he married, things like that. Nothing. It's not a religious thing. Well, I'm sure y'all could turn it into one, but it's really just, you know, people are always like, well, how can we believe when he did? We don't even know if he existed. Well, I'm pretty sure there's enough evidence to prove he existed. Now, proving he was the son of God, that's a whole different thing. He's not the founder of Christianity. That came later on. You know, it was founded in his name. He's not the founder. No. As far as I know, the only thing written in Aramaic at the time of Christ is the epistles. Other than that, I don't know of anything else. So you don't even know, when you're worshiping Christianity, you don't even know if the Son of God, Jesus, actually is okay with this religion. You just assume because of a bunch of old crazy ass men wrote a book together. And remember, they left out a shitload of parts of this, shitload of books. It was 86 or 46, 66. There was a bunch of books that didn't make it into the Bible. So you don't really know what you're reading if it's Truth. Well, Jesus didn't write it down himself. Maybe he didn't think you needed to follow that way. Maybe he thought, split a rock, there I am. Split a log, there I am. Stand in your backyard and say, hey, dude, what's up? Pray to me anywhere you want. I'm just saying. Yes, but anyway, that's what it's going to be about. And people who have seen him, people who have heard about him, how far did he reach? What was his reach at the time? Did it reach into the Roman Empire? Stuff like that. Iran sets 2 conditions on Israel for ceasefire. Israel's going to tell you to go fuck yourself. Yeah, Israel. Existence of Earth-like planet around dead sun offers hope for planet's ultimate survival. Not ours. Ours will be eaten by our sun, so no reason to worry about that. Vikit Ramsaways. The wheels are coming off the Democratic Party. Why space archaeologists are finding more Mayan ruins than ever. They're finding shit everywhere, not just in the Mayans. I mean, they are finding shit everywhere. How did the USS San Francisco hit an underwater mountain, and where is the sub today? Well, either being repaired or being scrapped. A man trying to bring back woolly mammoth back from extinction claims it can be done by 2028. All right, people, don't be getting stupid. Next thing you'll be doing back is doing Jurassic Park and bringing dinosaurs back. I mean, really. Sometimes I wonder about humans. What do you mean? Can we win a war in the Middle East? We've already won 3. Yeah, that's the Middle East isn't our problem. Russia and China is our problem. Tiny Earth-like world discovered orbiting nearest single star to Earth. Wow, that's cool. I wonder what it is. Yeah, 5.6 light years away. That's interesting. I just like to have an idea what's in the neighborhood. Yeah. Well, traditionally, whoever wins the presidency usually loses the House in the first election, in the first midterm election. Well, because they're doing a shitty job usually. Obama, he lost the House in the first one, and then when he ran his second term, he lost the Senate. So he never after his first 2 years, he never had control of the House and Senate again. Okay, what bullshit is this? Shooting down Russian targets over the Ukraine by NATO countries will involve U.S. in war, Pentagon says. No. We're not getting involved in this fucking war. See, if Trump becomes president, this shit will end. Harris becomes president, it's just going to get worse. Because she don't know what to do. She has no experience in warfare. She's never served in the military. Neither has Trump, but at least he understands how to play the game. Just being on that stupid game gives him more experience on how to deal with assholes than she does. Yeah, I don't know about all of that. Well, you can all go live on Mars with Elon when he finally moves there. I wish he'd hurry up and get his ass over there. I'm serious. I'm ready for some relocation. John Robert lawyers suggest Supreme Court was above the law, Democrats. They pretty much are above the law. U.S. Navy is battling the best Iranian technology in the Red Sea and changing how it fights to beat it. Well, that's good to know. Yeah. No, we're getting ready to get out of here, but I'll let y'all get one more question in before we roll. See, that's a tough question. If Trump gets in office, I think most of this will calm down and go away. If she gets in office, I think you'll just see an acceleration. You may even see the start of World War III. Well, you have the axis now. You have Iran, you have North Korea, you have China, and you have Russia. With Harris, there will be nothing to batter him back. With Trump, there will be. Yeah. Oh, now they're saying she's going to win 3 southern states. Yeah. Yeah. She can keep believing that. Well, you mean with Iran? See, because Iran is only going to play with, Israel's only going to play with Iran so long before they just say screw it. And see, just this article right here tells you why you got to worry about Harris. China wants Taiwan to make a mistake and is looking for an excuse to trigger it because they want to invade. They won't invade if Trump's president. They will invade if Harris is president because they don't think the U.S. is going to get involved or do anything. That's the whole problem, isn't it? But anyway, we got to go. It's past my bedtime. No, but I appreciate everybody coming and hanging out with us and enjoying the show. And we got through the polls. We got through a lot of news stories tonight. I'm going to mention this one earlier. Archaeologists discovers 57 ancient Roman settlements mapped out in hidden empire. They're just finding shit everywhere. Yeah, I don't know. It's crazy. Well, we'll see. We'll see what goes on. We'll see whose polls are right and whose polls are full of you know what. Because there's a lot of bullshit out there. Well, all right, real fast. So China does have a bigger navy than we do, but they don't have a bigger navy than we in NATO do. Okay, even with Russia, their navy's not. And if you had all the EU in there, all of our European allies, NATO, United States, and some of our other allies, Russia and China's navy is nowhere near big enough. No, it's not that kind of navy. And ours is a very advanced thing, as it's been showing all over the world for the last few months. Well, because one, Russia would have to watch. Sorry, guys, I had to sneeze. You'll have to watch because Russia, well, if there was a big war that started, Russia would have to watch. The Ukrainian has been keeping them busy. And if the Russians were stupid enough to use a nuke, remember, the Ukrainians have access to Chernobyl. So they could make dirty bombs. Oh, yeah. And Russia could find itself in a world of shit. And then that just takes them out of our thing. That leaves China hanging out by itself. And China's not ready for a war by itself. China hasn't been an aggressor in a war in a long time. And they haven't really fought any real wars. The United States says, well, with the exception of a little break, we've been at war for the last 50 years. Well, shit, I'm sorry, for the last 90 years. Nah, you don't want to test us. Our military is tried and true, and our weapons have been tested over and over and over. We know what's going to do what to what. Well, it's more about leadership than it is anything else. Well, Japan had one of the most powerful navies and one of the most powerful militaries in the world ever, and they found out what happened for screwing around with us. Well, no, China has the ability to mass produce, but the problem for China is they have the places to mass produce, but they don't have the materials. Most of their materials come from foreign places like China, Africa and South America. One, we would make South America cut them off. And two, we would sink anything going to China. Within 6 months, they would be out of everything. Iran ain't going to be able to give them anything because they're too far away. Russia's only going to have fuel and nothing else, maybe some iron. And North Korea ain't going to have squat. I mean, everything North Korea sends anybody doesn't, half of it doesn't work. It's a bad way to be. And China was well on its way to becoming something. China needs to get rid of the communist country, become a democracy of some sort, and join its place in the world. It doesn't need a military. The problem is today, with the Americas around, nobody really needs a military anymore. There's no need for it. The U.S. doesn't invade countries. It's not what we do. Unless you come start a war with us or kill us or blow us up, we don't go around invading people. So there would be a peacekeeper. Eventually, it could be the one military left could be turned over to NATO or to the UN or somebody as we move towards a more of a one world government. Clara Reese, one world government's a tricky thing. One, you're not going to let India and China be able to vote all the time because they got 3 billion people. They'd win every election. So that's not going to happen. All of that would have to be figured out on how the voting would be and who would be eligible for presidents and what countries. Countries like China and Russia and India probably, not India, but Iran and them probably wouldn't be able to put up for like presidents because, their past relationships. They may put like 100-year moratorium on them, but they could vote on a lot of other stuff. Definitely could vote on everything inside their country. And it would become a better world. Eventually, after a couple hundred years, we would become one world, one happy world. With many cultures, but one happy world, with one main language and many other languages that go along with it. We would become a better world, better place. That's what we need to be. You don't need a military as a one world. You might need something to put out in space as we progress into space, but we wouldn't need a military here. The fact that there wouldn't be a military and only police forces would do away with any real chances of any real wars anymore. If nobody had a military, there couldn't be a coup, or there couldn't be a takeover. That's what I'm saying. But anyway, on that note, I'm going to get out of here. I want to thank everyone for tuning in to United Public Radio News on the Flip Side. I hope you enjoyed this show. Nah, a lot going on. But I just wanted to get through the polls because, it's always good to make people see the polls for what they are. If you're a Harris fan, you can say Harris is winning tonight. If you're a Trump fan, you can say Trump was winning tonight. If you go strictly by the ups, like how many blacks are going to vote for Trump, how many Hispanics are going to vote for Trump, where he leads at, and the like what's going on in the world, such as politics in the world, or stuff like the border, finances, economy, things like that. Well, they've been trying to play tricks real quick. So last month they said, "Oh, it's such a great economy. Look what the Biden and them did." And then this month they had to revise it by half. So today the new one came out. Look how great it is, and the guy's already saying, "Oh, wait, it may have to be revised." Yes, they just lie. Democrats went from being the great party to the piece of crap lying party. The Republicans have really turned their party around and became something different. Oh, I'm not joining either one. I'm a centrist. The Republicans are not that far out of my shit yet, but they are the better party now. They're the younger party. They're the more caring party. They really want to make a difference in people's lives, where all the Democrats want to do is use you and keep power. And you can tell that by Nancy Pelosi, Chuck Schumer, Joe Biden, and the list goes on and on and on. Maxine Waters. I mean, they should be called the fucking ancient party is what they should be called. And they've gotten so ancient, half of them can't even think anymore. That's a really sad part. But anyway, I'm going to shut up. On that note, I hope everybody enjoyed the week. You have a good weekend. I'm here tomorrow on the Author's Quill. We have an illustrator and an author on with us tomorrow. Come by and check them out. You should see the archives start going back up as this new system is, I think, working now. So we'll find out more about that. On that note, stay tuned for Spaced Out Radio. and have a good weekend. Good night, everybody. And again, thanks for tuning in to United Public Radio and News on the Flip Side. Oh, yeah, I am damn sexy. You're damn right I am. See, I'm just kidding. I'll see y'all next week. Good night, everybody.